Okay. Okay. Okay, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, my friends. Okay. Okay. So, for those of you who are rewatching this as a video on demand, welcome. So nobody is here yet, and that is fine because it is Easter after all, and people go to church. People do all kinds of crazy shit, you know, if I can censor myself there for a second. You know. So yeah. So yeah. Where it is now live on your channel, Yorick Smash, very good. This works. Gemini 2.5 Pro, let's turn that off. We do not need that. Zach mini game, I can, you know, turn it off because it's not going to be necessary on this stream, really. Hello, Silent Touch. Hello, my friend. Mr. Easter. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Raphael. Hello, my friend. Yeah, I'm glad it makes you calm. So, if you fall asleep on the stream, be glad. Be glad, my friend. If I can give you the gift of sleep, what else can I even dream of? What else can I even dream of? Yeah, what else? I think everything is fine, right? Everything is correct. Very good, very good. Yeah. Let's see if the chat works. Let's see if the chat works. Yes, it does. It does, indeed. I am live on Twitch, so, you know, you can choose the platform you want because I'm going to be reading all of the comments, okay? I'm going to be reading all of the comments. I updated my profile on Twitch, just a little bit, you know. Nothing too crazy, just updated some links and some information there. So, you know, bit by bit, I am looking to kind of find out how exactly this Twitch/YouTube is going to work. So yeah, Halot welcome, Daedalus welcome, Oetic welcome, Mayar welcome. So who else is here? Geshlord, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, they work. And I think when you say Yorick, it responds with Smash. You know, just to let you know what's up. Just to let you know what's up. Just to let you know what's up. Okay. Just to let you know what's up. Welcome, Vinsmoke, to the family. Vinsmoke69 has just joined the family, okay? Has just joined the family. I've seen you using Leandries. When did you start? I don't remember. Are you the guy who suggested it to me? Because there was a comment that said, hey man, you know, I was yapping your ear off and then you did it. Maybe it was you, I don't know. I'm open to all kinds of suggestions currently. Because I feel like Yorick, it's like all builds are the same except lethality is bad. Something like that, you know? That's the way I feel. That's the way I feel. Titus James, welcome. Are you in Latvia right now? I read your comments. Did you just pass through or are you here? Unfortunately, again, I have to say the slab works only on Twitch. I still haven't found, you know, a way to make it work. Are you going to add something for what you're doing, boy? You know, I was thinking I'm not going to add anything I say, you know. I think it's going to be redundant. You know, imagine, you know, why am I adding my own voice sound effects? Seems a little bit too pretentious to me, you know. You know, I'm just telling you my opinion. I feel like it's a little bit too pretentious, you know. So I might avoid that. I'm in Bavaria, but Latvia is close. How's it going for you, man? How's it going for you? I think your voice is really calming. Just wanted to let you know. Well, that's good. That's good. People have said to me that I have a trance-inducing voice. And that is good because I can, you know, I can stare into your eyes and then I can just put some magic words in your face. And you will do, you know, all kinds of stuff. You could go and take out the garbage. You know, all kinds of stuff like that. You should try out for radio. Nah, come on. Radio is a whole thing, you know. And, yeah, radio is just a whole thing. Been following you for YouTube more than a year and finally found you live on Twitch. Yeah, started my mid-journey by seeing you, Goat. I'm glad I have inspired some Yorick action. I'm glad I have inspired some Yorick action. Okay, let's calm down. Calm down, Zach. Calm down, Zach. Calm down, Zach. Hey, does anyone see my comment or nah? I see your comment. Oh, hey man's greetings from Singapore from a fellow Yorker. What's your recommendation for your top? I don't know. Random items. Hydra, Sunfire's Cape, Leandri's Torment, you know, yeah. Titus, interesting. I was reading your comments this morning and then you know, I went on a trip with the wife. And then I finished reading them while I was in a forest, funnily enough. And I was thinking, you must be on a sort of a Euro trip situation, right? You come from America, you come to Europe, and you know, usually I feel like Americans sometimes they feel like Europe is a crazy place. When I was in Canada, I was in a beach, which just happened to be a nude beach. You know, I had to when in Rome, right? And the guy said, "Oh, you Europeans, you must love being naked." And I thought, well, this is the first time I'm doing this, and I'm in Canada, you know. So yeah. Okay. There are big fires the day before Easter. Interesting. What do you mean? People burn and stuff? People burn in eggs? I think the concept of a nude beach is strange. Okay, before you think that I'm some kind of a, you know, it's like my thing. No, I just went there to see what's up, okay? And it wasn't even that, you know, it wasn't anything really. Yeah, it takes a little bit of comfort out of your soul. You know, you think, I am kind of, you know, I am a little bit, you know, I'm like God made me. I am, you know, walking around with that, you know, as Theo One would say, Snickers bar exposed. That's dumb. But, no, they burn wood. Maybe I'll send you an email with a photo. Yeah, sure. Do it. Do it, my friend. Do it. I will read it. I like reading comments. I would say every single comment I read. There's not a comment on this channel that I don't read. Sometimes I miss comments on streams, but that's, you know, that's that. That is that. Okay. Where is that Twitch chat? How long are we going to stream today? I think about 2 to 4 hours, depending on my energy levels. I think I owe you 2 hours because I was feeling pretty tired last time, so I had to cut the stream short. Hello, Pikachu. The old family jewels. Yep, yippers. You know, you feel it's kind of, you know, I think it's, I don't know. I try to be open-minded, but I feel like at nude beaches you find creeps, especially in Latvia. I don't know how it is in Canada, but yeah, you find creeps there, and you do not wish to be seen as a creep. Okay, somebody followed on Twitch. Welcome, Cardboard66. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. This Cogmo is probably gonna do a little bit of that poking here. Now, to be honest, no idea how much damage this guy does, so I could get slapped. You know, I could get slapped. Oh, he's gonna get slapped a lot more than I will. Okay. Xplayer 9997. Welcome. Whoopsie daisies. He does actually quite a lot. So let me just calm down here. Okay. Whoopsie daisies. There it is. Did I need to calm down? Yes. Did I calm down? No. I went in there. 7 OCLA. No, OCL is his name. Okay, he's probably going to use some abilities on me, and I gotta be careful. He does more than usual mid laners, you know, so gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with that. Whoopsie daisies, there it is. Okay, that was painful, honestly, just a little painful. Okay. A painful two. I think I'm gonna out sustain him, but we'll see. Okay. Whoopsie daisies, there it is. Okay, careful. This guy just presses buttons from afar, you know? Doesn't he? Okay, wow. It's quite a lot. That guy does quite a lot. You're the first streamer that has said my entire name. Well, I'm like that. I am like that. Okay, I maybe could have went in there. You know. Okay. There it is. There's that. No. He farm. Yeah, he farm. He die, he farm. That's what happens. I like reading comments, yeah. Sports fan, welcome. Big nuts. They call me Big Nuts. They don't actually call me Big Nuts because, well, for someone to know how big your nuts are, they have to be pretty close. So the question is, you know, how close are they? I think he might die if the ghouls do enough there. Yeah. He didn't even flash because he thought it's fine, but it turned out that, you know. Hello, Giga Child. Hello, my friend. Happy Easter to you too. Now, I did try to color the eggs, the big nuts, you know, the small nuts, and I colored them with some beets, as, you know, Dwight, I imagine, would. They turned out brown, so itty-witty-dee. I don't know what that means, but, you know. I don't know why that happened. But it did. Okay, let me do something completely insane. There we go. Pinguini, welcome. Welcome to the family. What time is it in Latvia? I'm never lucky to catch your stream. Well, today it is actually 5:33 p.m. Kog'Maw mid is a weird choice. It is. It definitely is, you know. Now, why am I buying the Bammy Cinder? Okay, as the game goes more intense, I'm not going to read all of this followers, okay? So, oh, no. Almost. Yeah, as the game goes more intense, not going to be able to do that, but, you know, oh, Azap, there he is. I'm in Korea right now, if you didn't know. You know, I'm playing on their server on the Challenger level. That, of course, is an Easter joke. That, of course, is an Easter joke. Oh, he's actually not AD. So, I have been hustled. Okay? I have been hustled. It's fine. You can get hustled once. You can get hustled twice. But if you get hustled thrice, you better calm down, okay? If you get hustled thrice. Okay? But I think that... Oh, you know what? I don't actually have to buy that. I still have a choice to buy something else. Oh. Look at how many times I slapped him. Look at how many times I slapped him. That sound effect was almost correct. That sound effect was almost correct. Does your country have Easter-specific food? Let me think. Well, eggs, of course. Then there's a thing called Pascha or something like that. It's from, I think, from Ukraine or Russia. That's just a food where you fill up a bowl with, I think, cocoa with cottage cheese and apricots and all kinds of stuff like that. It's just a very classic Eastern European thing where you just, you know, you put a lot of stuff and of course the thing that makes Jello, you know, the thing that goes from the thing that oh, careful. What is the thing that comes from bones, you know, which makes all kinds of jelly things? That thing you put in there. Then what you do, you let that thing sit in the fridge, okay? What you doing, boy? What you doing, boy? Okay. And then, you know, once it, you know, makes... Oh, these are such bad people here. Such bad people here. So, you know, humans, not good humans. Take that. Slapped for the wife, okay? Revenge. Just a, you know, just a slap to the cheeks, okay? Just slap to the cheeks. I like it. I like those slaps to the cheeks. Okay. Yeah, there it is. There's that sound effect. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Oh, use the who mad. Use the who mad because someone's mad. Say who mad, please. It's his perfect time. It's exclamation point who mad together. Okay. Yeah, and then you turn the bowl. Yeah, there it is, who mad. Well done. Then you turn the bowl around and you have a cake. You know, it falls out and it has a cake shape just because, well, it has a cake shape, right? Because it was in a bowl. Yeah, thanks for the who mad, of course. Thanks for the who mad. Okay, okay, there he comes. Careful, careful. He says open many times. You know, when the jungle is open, it's not that bad, right, for them. Terminal illness, he says. Okay. It is what it is. I think that deserves more who mad. I think that deserves more who mad. Oh, guys, yeah, I'm so sad. You're gonna have to go to Twitch to, you know, to have the sound effects. Yeah. You're gonna have to go to Twitch for sound effects. Okay. Damn, there's so many madness going on in the... So many mad guys in the chat. And this is perfect. I have the troll item. and they mad. Okay. Oh, please don't kill me. I think Yarvan mad, right? Sorry, man. I heal too much. Oh. Damn. Damn. Almost perfect who mad there. Almost perfect. Almost totally perfect, yeah. Totally, almost 100% perfect. Do you think Big Nuts should have a sound effect from Tara Reid's song? No bass at 10 minutes, he says. I know. I can answer who mad. Do you want me to answer? It's J4. It's J4. Some streamer called him Gay 4. I don't remember who it was. Either Slogdog or... Yeah, someone called him Gay 4. And it was, you know... Damn, he's so mad. He is so mad. You know, I'm not happy that he's mad, but at least I make the best of it, right? Do you agree? Or do you think that's toxic? Sometimes I feel like people want you to be sad or mad if someone else is sad or mad, you know? J mad. It's because he has small nuts. True, true. Okay, why mad? Why mad? What happened to him? What do you think of the massive increased pick rate for Yorick in pro plays? I don't like it. You know, he gets banned. Almost every day I have 12 hours on all of my accounts and I play 3 games. You know, I can't even record a video sometimes. You know, it's a little bit disheartening. You know, if that's a word that I can use in this word. I don't think I've ever used the word disheartening. But it is what it is. You know. Okay, there he is. Okay. Don't do that. I don't know if I win this 2v1 this time. I really don't. We have to be careful because we could lose easily if they continue being mad, but we start feeding, you know. That could happen. That could happen. I actually don't care too much that he's AP. I actually don't care too much about that. Yeah, the Yorick pick rate, if you ask me, is high. You know, it's just high. Hello, lol, lol, redeemed. Welcome, my friend. Welcome to the family of ghouls. I don't want to overpromise anything, but I do want to make a sort of kind of like a something that shows how many subscribers on Twitch I have, and they are like a family of ghouls, you know, and they would be kind of you know how some Streamlabs I think has this thing where little coins are falling into a glass or something, and they have this kind of like web-ish like thing. And I really want to make something like that for ghouls when the family grows bigger, and it could be called something like, you know, the biggest family on the in LOL, or, you know, something. Oh no, that's him. That is him. There it is. There it is. There's that fear. There's that fear. Kog'Maw mad. Okay. Yeah. Happy Ghoulster, someone says. Those sound effects actually honestly cheer me up. You know, and it's not like I'm sad. I just, those sound effects, they literally cheer me up. Should I go there? Or, oh, he's mad. He's dead and he's mad. Mad and dead. Just like Jesus. Okay, Jesus wasn't mad. He wasn't mad. It's interesting that Jesus is a universally loved figure, right? People want to claim him. That's how loved he is. People want to claim him. He should be risen on this day, right? Hello, XOLL. I hope your, you know, whatever you're playing there, Elden Ring, gameplay is going well. Ba 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 da ba da 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 da. Okay. Whoop! There it is. There it is. There he is. Now I have too much armor, okay? And they have a little bit of AP too, so I shouldn't be too eager to, you know, just invest every single thing in that armor. I shouldn't do that. Because these guys are gonna start slapping me, you know? And they have only AP. It's like they understand, they saw my items and they thought, okay, we go mid double. You know, double trouble against the guy who brought only armor. It's fine, you know? You gotta deal with what you gotta deal with sometimes, right? You gotta deal with what you have, you know, when you have to deal sometimes. Hollow Radiance, I think you can't get it after you have gotten this, so unfortunately, I will have to have something different, you know. I don't even know what, honestly. You know, these days I buy random stuff, so, you know, I might get Spirit Visage. Yeah, maybe, you know. Maybe I'll get the Spirit Visage. Okay. Okie dokie. Where did you learn English so fluent? Actually, boring answer. I just started using it. I consciously started streaming and thought, okay, even if the streaming thing doesn't go well, that was, you know, when I first started the channel. Actually, not streaming thing, just recording in general. I thought, okay, even if this doesn't go well, I like it. It's fun. I like recording these videos. These are silly, you know. Even if this doesn't go well, I'm gonna have, at least I've learned, I will have learned English. So that's what I did. He got a Heartsteel stack from me, so, you know, this is not worth me fighting him here. Honestly, not worth. Not worth at all. Hopefully Maiden lays a lot of eggs. That's a little bit, you know, hard to imagine. Sorry, man. What would you change so Yorick would be more skillful? Take him back to the lethality days. That's it. It was skillful. It was very skillful back then. I don't know if I win. Especially, you know, fighting him here. I honestly don't know. I have to run away because his team is going to help him. I think I could have won. I don't know. I think I could have won. But it's just a little bit too dangerous, you know. There it is. There it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have leashed it and I can't do nothing about it, really. Nothing about it, really. There it is. Play the Caveman Experiment. I love it so much. I will next time. Yeah, that's a lovely song. It's completely. Oh. Okay, Zerath is real mad. Isn't he gonna get caught there for doing this? He could get caught. You know. Oh, I know what. Okay, wasted it. Wasted it. I'm thinking of making a jukebox. What do you think? Sort of so that when if enough people press the Caveman song, it starts playing. I was talking about this on stream, and but I haven't yet done it. It takes a little bit of knowledge and preparation, you know. What is the nerf that says the item doesn't mark anyone anymore really means? It means that it marks only the champions. It doesn't mark, you know, it used to work on jungle camps too. It doesn't work anymore. It sounds like you were born and raised in America. Yeah, you know, I kind of consciously did the American accent. I have a British friend and he was big mad that I chose to do the American accent. And I told him, hey man, but you know, and he was saying that it sounds dumb or something. And I said, but if a person who hears English for the first time, which of the accents is more likely to be understood by the new person. And it's kind of clear that it's American accent, because British accent, it has so many ways of just the words are not clear, even if you speak at a very, very good level, the words are just less clear than the American accent ones. Oh, don't use that R. So that was my argument to him, and he was a little mad, but he just had to take it because I had made my choice. Sorry, I had made my choice. Yeah. Burgers and hot dogs. Even though I do absolutely, I started, I've talked about this before, but I absolutely loved A Bit of Fry and Laurie sketch show, so I learned a lot of words from that and a lot of mannerisms from that, like saying God instead of just saying God, stuff like that. And yeah, I just chose the American accent. I don't know. Also, I watched okay, let me bring up the heat, okay? Let me give you an opinion that is going to divide people. Are you ready? No, I'm not going to talk about the controversy with the content cop, even though that's funny too. Actually, I forgot what I was about to say. So, because I started thinking about this Leandri's Torment, and I have to kind of choose what exactly to get here. Okay, I'm just gonna randomly buy this thing. So yeah, okay, I remembered what I wanted to say. So I watched this clip where this guy was making fun of American English, and he said that, for example, sidewalk is called, what was it called in British? It was something else, pavement or something like that. And he said that Americans need explanation, in the words more. So they changed it to sidewalk. So you have to, you exactly know what the word means. Sidewalk. Okay, I understand. Something like that. And there was a whole thing about that. There's a lot of words like that, like waste paper basket, or and they were talking about how they had bin, for example, or something else was for the waste paper basket. And he said that, haha, they do that. And so basically they dumb, something like that. And the way I see it, especially if I look at it from a outsider perspective, if things simpler, it better. And that's it. If thing is self-explanatory, every programmer will tell you, hey man, just name your functions so that they explain themselves, right? And okay, so that they explain themselves. Oh, look at that burn. Look at that burn. Okay, let me release Maiden real quick so she burns more. Yeah, he's mad. The burn too much. The burn is just too much there. So yeah, from my perspective, if a thing explains something, I absolutely cannot stand when people say that they have these big words. I think in Russian language, they especially have this thing about having big words. And we have a big word that explains this very specific situation. So, it's such a great thing. We are so smart. No, I only see ego there. I think if a thing works better, it works better. And it's not about American English only. If maybe I unfortunately don't know any Chinese or any Korean or Japanese, but if it turns out that using symbols is faster, I'll like it more. I'll just like it more. Okay. I'll just like it more. Yeah, this thing is 11% now. Honestly, I feel like I can just walk around the map. I can just walk around the map and do whatever, and I'm really not gonna die. That's it. But it's probably because, they kind of trolled, right? Kind of trolled a little bit there. Eloquent British maybe sounds more pleasant, but that's only maybe. It's I think it's very, very hard to prove, okay? Again, because I am again in the situation where I have to kind of go in people's minds and say, "Hey man, even though you're saying this, I actually think you are doing this because of this." And that's where I come in and I say, "Hey man, I actually believe that a lot of how you speak is because of ego, and because you think, oh, I want to sound smart." And this is, again, very, very hard to prove, almost impossible. But I think it's a big chunk there. I think it's a big chunk there. So I do not appreciate stuff like that. But it's fine. I also think, hey, if language fun, then do language harder and it fun. Why not? I also kind of can appreciate that. So I guess I disproved my own point. It is what it is. The game ends, and I'll see you in the next one, right? I'll just see you in the next one. Yeah, there it is. There's that smash. What about Portuguese or Spanish? I have no idea. I have no idea, my friends. My friend. I wanted to see how much Leandries did, but I didn't really have the time. So let me read the comments. What do people say? Abyssal Mask, yeah, will go well with this build. Maybe, yeah, maybe. I thought you want to talk about Palestine, Gaza. Oh, the content cop thing is related to that, right? Because of the woke trying to outwoke each other. That's so funny. Poke, how do you get over food addiction? It's hard. I would say unfortunately, there's a very boring answer that works. You have to have a more interesting life. And if you have a non-interesting life, then you might eat to have more interesting, more interesting situation. And I have found myself in that position very, very often. I'm not really fat, but I'm not in my ideal, I think I'm like 1 or 2 kilograms over my perfect weight. And I think it's because of I do overeat sometimes when I'm sad or something. So yeah, it's hard. It's especially sad when some people say that, hey, overeating is cool. Eating too much is cool. And it's fine. And that's not good. That is not good. I dislike that. I dislike that. I think it's more of an art form, my guy. If that's about the language, I do agree. But when someone says to me that it's actually easier to understand and learn and speak, I disagree. That's not true. Lol, who says that? Lizzo? All kinds of fat influencers. What was it called? There was a name for fat influencers. Fatfluencers or big influencers? There was a name for that. I remember. And I'm not trying to make fun. I'm just, I know that there was a name for that. What do you think about AI taking human jobs? It is what it is, it's the market. It's the market. The market will do. Plus size influencers. Yeah. And let me say something about, maybe a lot of people will disagree. I don't know, actually. But I'll see from the chat. But so when, for example, Lizzo says, hey, man, it's cool to be fat. Let's do, it's nice to be fat. Let's be fat. And I think that she kind of says that. She would disagree. She would say, I've never said that. But I kind of feel like that's the kind of the message. And then, a star can say that because a star has lifestyle and money and all the stuff, and she gets all the needs, and she has all the, she's happy. But when, I imagine this kind of teenage girl who listens to that and thinks, oh, I can eat way too much and it's going to be cool. And then that teenage girl, she doesn't get to the level of fame so that she could kind of offset the sadness of the too much food. And she's just sadder. And that is big sad. I don't like that. And I've kind of thought about this a little bit, and I dislike that. I don't know. And again, above all of this, of course, everybody can and should do what they want. It's just that if you think that it's gonna be good, no, you're gonna feel worse. You're just gonna feel worse. You're just gonna feel worse. How do you feel? Food okay? Landers is good for over 10k damage in a good game. Yeah, 10k, of course. It depends. If you get to 40 minutes, I think it's going to be 10k, yeah. I speak the way I do because that's how I learned. Yeah, I agree. I understand that, if you learn. But again, I'm only talking about kind of like the moments where people compare the ease of use. And then they say, no, this is the correct way. And I'm always going to be on the side of, hey, what is easier, especially in language, is better, I think. Yeah. Oh, so many comments. I think people flow in their comments after a game because they know I read it. Is that true? Please, slaps in the Twitch chat if you do that. Okay, I'm going to have a different sound effect for that. Why do you never wear one of those skins you got there? Just wondering. I just like the original one. I feel like there's a vibe to it. So, I was thinking... to do the Catrick one today, but then I decided against it. Michael McIntyre talks about eyeglasses and horseback riding. What is that in reference to? What are you referencing, my friend? Taking drugs just in small dose. Yeah, I agree. And again, if it turns out that... Because that's why I use the word overeat. Because overeat means too much. If your body is struggling, I'm kind of sad for the body, right? What you doing, boy? I was in a tram some days ago, and I thought, and there was a guy who was drunk, and he was, all over the floor. It was very, very, just Eastern Europe. Boom. Titus, if you're in the chat, you're going to see that. And I looked at him and I thought, hey, imagine his heart, imagine his stomach, imagine his lungs, imagine all the stuff that's inside that is just working over time, struggling to keep him alive. And he just chooses to do that crazy, use whatever he uses, and just lies there on the floor unconscious. And I imagine the poor heart, just struggling. There's all kinds of poison in the system. It's just doing its best to clean it out, and he's just I don't give a F, So I'm kind of sad for the heart, and the stuff that's in the that's struggling to keep him alive. It's almost like your body is almost like your pet. Imagine your cat. You wouldn't do that to the cat. You wouldn't pour alcohol in its mouth. So sometimes I'm sad about about the heart. I guess alcohol more is about having those kidneys, shut down or something like that. We all live, die, might as well choose now. Yeah, I do also kind of agree with that, but it doesn't change the fact that the body's struggling, right? I've been wondering, what about Gnasher's Tooth in Yorick? Big AP? Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. Man. Because before the glasses are on their knees, people ride horses. I don't understand. What is it about the glasses? Why did you go grasp in last game? I go grasp all the time these days. Hey Father, I watched your episode where you talked about weed usage, and I just wanted to let you know that anything can be addictive, so if you tend to get addicted to things easily, I'd avoid it. Yeah, someone said that I, suggested that, people had mixed opinions actually on that, so I might just go the boring route and say, I don't even know. I don't even know, man. A lot of people said don't try it at all. Some people said, it's fine, whatever, you relax with it. I don't know. If you push me more on this, maybe I will think about it more. That's a weird haircut. It's a good haircut. I love that Yorick smile you use in your thumbnails. Well, thank you, my friend. That's the true smile. That is the true smile. One thing I want to say about streams, okay? I read all of the comments on YouTube, okay? And sometimes I will not respond just because it's a little bit too much. The argument just requires thought, and for me, I usually want to think, let's say at least an hour about something. For example, the person who first brought up the weed question, I thought about it. I was, riding somewhere with my skateboard, and I thought about it quite a lot. And then I recorded the video, and then I responded to it. So in that sense, I can read all of the comments, but I can't respond to all of the comments. So that's one thing. But one thing that's good about streams is that if I ever, not respond to something, or maybe you think I was wrong and you were right, which is funny, but if you want to push me on something easily, you can do it on stream. I will, if I missed a comment, just write it again, and I'll at some point I'll probably read it. So that's a good thing about streams. I kid you not, I think of streams as kind of cleansing, because sometimes I feel like, I am behind on answering people because a lot of comments come in, and on streams I think, okay, this was the opportunity. I streamed for a long time, so I hope that if someone had something, I hope that they had a chance to do that. So again, you can easily, if you have a burning question, you can kind of put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Okay. Ideally, of course, it would be the text-to-speech, but I don't think I have set any text-to-speech up in my Twitch. So you can't really, get any kind of text-to-speech. You can only get it in the coffee page. Okay. You can only get it in the coffee page. And there's an Indian accent, so anyway. In a good way, of course. Oh, she's gonna try to... Yeah, she sees the overwhelm. You have to be careful about that overwhelm, Dr. Mike Israel has talked about how obesity is not an issue, so self-control is right for driving humanities. Yeah, I do agree 100%. But it's also about self-control. Because, well, having very strong self-control just fixes it, right? So it's again kind of like the boring answer of, it's both things. It's just both things. So, but I do understand. Yeah. Of course, the calories are just like, what? Your brain looks at it and thinks, sweet Jesus, I should just eat all of this, because after a few days, we will have nothing. Okay, as it was very often. As it was in the past. Okay. Oh, Ooh, Gragas coming in. The fat. The fat just coming in hot. There it is. Just coming in hot. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Lost 2 CS because I listened to him. Oh, I promised you to... I promised to turn on the music. Okay, I think I need to do it. Okay, I'm gonna recall. Yeah, the fat... Here's what happened. See what happened? See what happened? See what happened? Okay, there's the music. I need to focus. Okay, I need to focus. Really, honestly. I think this is game for Hollow Radiance, isn't it? Actually, it isn't. Oh, careful, careful. I could die. The real gateway drug is alcohol, not weed. I actually don't know. Is this good? Damn. How many do they have? I'm gonna have to ignore Mel. Okay, I'm not used to farming with this thing, so I lost a little bit. Oh, Mel actually roamed, so, you know, a little bit of that mid gap. Let me take that plate and go to the grubs. Does this work on these little grubbies? I think it does, right? It does. Oh, she is here, right? Yeah, there she is. Maybe Gragas could catch her. This is good because not only we got the grubs, but Bard's Roam was useless. Okay. The AI songs are in the coffee page. I don't know where exactly is that link there, but there's definitely a playlist that you can just put in 0, and you're gonna be able to download it. Okay, welcome. Somebody subscribed to the channel. What's the name of the person? Saudi Aramco. Thank you for the subscription and welcome to the family. The biggest family on Twitch. Well, right now it's only 20-something subscribers. But, you know, it could become the biggest family on Twitch, you know. Oh, I didn't reflect that. What? Interesting. Hello, my friend. Saudi Aramco. Why are you doing the crying emoji? Did I mispronounce your name? Okay, I gotta be careful because she does have damage. She does have some damage. Weed is not a gateway drug, someone says. Or is a gateway drug. Now, I don't like that my team is mad. Right now, if you use the, the who mad, the problem with that is going to be that my teammates are mad. So, it's kind of... I think he did. Yeah. Oonga boonga. Yeah. You can download for free the music. Don't you worry that I'm gonna leave you who mad, so you know that you have to, so that you have to think, oh, she's making me pay. No. It's AI. No one owns the copyright to it. As I said, I consulted with a copyright expert. She said, no. AI, if you own the songs only if you've put reverb to them. So I think if you take these songs, put some reverb on them, and put them on Spotify, it's gonna be yours. I think. But I might try, I might be able to sue you, but I don't know. It's still a very, very young thing. Is he using a pink word just to get my word? Now that's, remember the short I made about the ego? That's a big ego, right? Because that pink word is definitely not useful, is it? Is lethality weak, Rick weak now? Yes. Is the music not too loud? I feel like it might be too loud. At least it was for me. If I win against this Mel, even though I bought the Sunfire Aegis, is Yorick overpowered? Or am I too low rank? Or am I exactly where I am and she's too bad? What's going on there? Because I feel like I can just stay here and nothing's gonna happen really. What does that mean when that happens? I like grubs when I'm playing a very Yorick slap tank build. Where will the songs be sent to? There will be a download link. There will just be a download link. It's the Smash playlist. There's a lot of weed talk going on. People are polarized by weed. What is more polarizing, weed or Donald Trump? I think when you say Donald Trump, it immediately boosts up engagement in your chat. Echo sound effect, yeah. Echo sound effect. The copyright lady said that whenever you put in creative work yourself, that's what makes the thing yours. Which is an interesting thing if you think about it, because there's a famous philosopher who said that when you mix land with work, that's what makes it yours. And it makes sense from the human perspective, Even better than the Miko lady. Hello, Too Odd Todd. It's maybe called VTube, but I like the PNG tube better. Animated PNG tube. I like that one much better, so, Okay. Careful. Trump is definitely more divisive. Yeah, of course, I understand. Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump is the most popular person in the world. I have to go to Jarvan. Yeah. Oh, we both escaped. Interesting. Okay. Oh, popular and of course, well known, you know, known. He might be the most known person. Well, I'm going to use the word popular, meaning that known, you know, people know him. In the history, you know, in the history, because didn't need to do that. It was kind of clear that he's gonna escape. I'm gonna stay for one more wave, and unfortunately, I didn't get that. Okay. Ba-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da. Da-da. Da-da-da. Okay, okay, careful, calm down. This Sivir really is fed, so let's not, you know, be overjoyous there. She flashed, which is good. No, don't do this, please. I need this. By the way, I started watching this show called Studio, and it's one of the best shows I've ever seen. It's so... It's by Seth Rogen, and it is so unique and kind of courageous in the you know, humor. Please, Gwen, don't leave me hanging. She does leave me hanging. It's you know, it's kind of my fault, but you know. Da-da-da. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. We have, okay, let's see where we have a problem. Bottom, jungle, top. And it turns out that I am a problem too for some reason, but I thought that I'm not. She doesn't have flash, so I don't know if we can catch her. Actually. Yeah, we have to escape this. We have to escape that somehow. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Can I send you my Excel? I'm working itemizer. Okay, I'm gonna read that comment in full. In short, you can send me it. Yeah, email is you know, you can find it on channel. It's Davis with 7 A's at Gmail. It's kind of hard to explain. Which is basically Davis and 7 A's at Gmail. You can send it and you can tell me, hey, you know, this is because of this, and I'm gonna read it. Oh, that doesn't work. Hey, that doesn't work. Doesn't work like that. Okay. Mel Gibson. Careful, Mr. Pokrick. I am lucky she doesn't have ult. I am lucky, okay? I am lucky. Okay. Bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum ba dum. Da, 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 da. We have a problem. I think they are too fed. Who fed them? 2-6 Gragas? It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. There's plenty of blame to go around. But there is a lot more farming to do as Yorick. There's a lot more farming to do as Yorick. Okay. Okie dokie. Third term Trump? I think Trump can't do physically anything more, so. Okay. Okay. Too old. You know, politicians being old, pretty bad. Pretty bad. By the way, where's Kamala Harris? Let me say something divisive about Kamala Harris, okay? And tell me what you think about this. And I'm going to try to make this argument to be in the middle so that no matter which side of the politics you are, this argument should not really trigger you in any sort of particular way, okay? Because it is, it should just be an observation. So I remember I was talking to my friend, and he said he loved Kamala Harris, absolutely. And he said she's smart, she's this, she's that. Oh, I'm dead. The Yorick in the wrong place. Yeah. The Yorick is indeed in the wrong place. There is, no question about that. Oh, sweet Lord. She says the Yorick in the wrong place. This song has a reputation, okay? So Kamala Harris, I remember people said that third term is kind of a meme. I understand, yeah, but the other side says that hey, he's a bad guy. He's gonna do whatever he's gonna do. He says, I stacked armor versus melee. Yes, but I won the lane. That it was a correct decision. Well, itty. I think it was the correct decision. So yeah, the thing I wanted to say is that my friend said he thought that she's the best possible person in the country or in the world. And now, after everything is after she lost, she is completely disappeared. She doesn't exist, and no one cares. And my question is, was that really true that she was the best person in the world if now she doesn't exist anymore, Okay. Okay. I don't know. It seems, the enemy pretty fed, pretty fed. Okay. There he goes. I have to go. Sorry. Have to go here. Oh. Too many. Okay. I kind of had to come here, I kind of had to come here. I think. Okay. That's sad to see, actually. Very sad to see. Hello, Namli Min. Hello, my friend. Valid question. I think that party is trying to find their new face. So my point is that you don't, I'm sometimes looking for having some kind of an argument that I can. I like having thoughts which could be put in the middle. I know that the middle road is kind of boring, but I'm very, very often I find myself in the middle road. And I think everybody should understand that, hey guys, she wasn't anything. She was just there as a counter. So once she loses, she doesn't exist. And that's exactly what happened. And I think that's just it's just an observation that is kind of clear. It's just a very easy observation. It's just a very, very easy observation. I remember when Trump lost to Biden, every single day for every second of the world, people still talked about Trump. But that's not the case with Kamala Harris, right? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Don't catch me. Don't catch me. It's not saying much about who you should vote for, but it's just an interesting thing to observe, right? Because a lot of people very, very kind of in a fake way said that, oh, she's so wonderful. Oh, she's so wonderful. I, of course, understand trying to choose between two, choices. But saying, oh, she's so wonderful, that's just, that's just a lie, No one cared. It was just the truth. Okay. 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 Yorick smash, Yorick smash. United States politics turned into a big circus. It's kind of like what America does, isn't it? They turn things into a circus. They are attention grabbers. It's I don't know. I feel like the instinct is to say that that's dumb and not good. But no, actually, you know what? I think the fact that politics takes so much of our time is dumb and not good. I dislike that very much, so I'm going to agree with that. Mr. Broker, people talk more about Putin or Trump in Latvia. Trump, I guess. Putin is a lot, mentioned too, just because we kind of live in between enemies. Because there's a lot of people who really are waiting for this land to be taken by Russia, and that's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. So both of those names are very popular. But I guess that Trump just takes the flag just because, well, he's just Trump. He takes attention and stuff. Are you ever going to build more lethality in the future? I don't know, my friend. I kind of like being this annoying Rick. Reforged Lime T-Atom. Lime Tatum. Hello, my friend. Are you really Jeff, or are you just saying that? Okay, these guys are pushing this so I can chase. There it is. There it is. It's 14 to 43. The fact that I'm 1-3 is a miracle. Is a miracle. Government should work without thinking about it. Can I try to, trigger you a little bit? You know what works without you thinking about it? Free market. It works without you thinking about it. And every problem that pre-market has, government solution has even more. So, itty what itty. I know that this is kind of a triggering topic, but itty what itty, Itty what itty. Okay, Yarwan. This is a different guy, This is a way different guy. Okay. They are gonna catch me. You're gonna see. Ah, okay. I think I could get this, right? Actually, not free market, because I don't know what free market means. I can tell you what market means, and I can tell you that the market is just a thing that it's... I've said this many times, and I think it's such an interesting thing that the market is... in Soviet Union, for example, or in North Korea, or in any kind of imagined place where the government is really just pushing down on people, the market is still there. It's always there. Just because people value things, even if they're in a prison, they still have things they value. For example, cigarettes emerge as a currency in prison. All kinds of weird things can happen, and that's interesting. I think that's a very interesting observation, that the market is always there. It's kind of like a baseline thing. The problem with free market is that monopoly is going to happen without regulation. No, that is a monopoly is a problem of life. Let me try to convince you to become an anarchist, okay? Monopoly is a problem of real life, because if a fish becomes big, right? If a fish becomes big, it will eat other fish. So how do you deal with a fish becoming big? If a fish becomes big, right? What's the solution to that? Well, we could try to kill the fish or something. And so the question is, how does government solve the big fish? For some reason, we think that creating an even bigger fish, which is the government, solves there being a big fish. And that's just so obviously not true, because we can see what happens when the government big. The most recent example, very easy, Putin, right? And we don't have to really look in where the government big is a problem. People whine about Amazon when they supposedly will, up their prices or something, and then, oh, damn, idiot. But and the governments just do invading countries, and so many big problems are happening, and then people whine, oh, but Amazon, but Amazon. Monarchy also works without you thinking about it. Monarchy bad, Monarchy means that the biggest fish is the king, and you don't want to have a big fish. Isn't that true? You don't want to have a big fish. We lost, and we lost big time, and I don't know why that was. No, that's a weird analogy. Well, I think it makes sense. Yeah, Gwen was 21-1. So I have to take some responsibility and say that, hey, I should have done something, right? I should have done something. There wasn't a nexus gap, yeah. It's many fishes, but that's not really true, is it? Well, let's look at kings, right? When a king decides, it's a problem, because that's the biggest fish deciding to eat everything else. So that's a kind of like, oh, we don't want that. But the government, of course, if you kind of make it even smaller, and smaller fishes, that's good. That's why, for example, having a president, one guy who's in power, is very scary, right? And so whenever there's, the more the power is kind of watered down, the better it is. So in any case, you're kind of going towards a market. You're going towards a free market. You're always moving away from a big fish to kind of like smaller kind of these power cells, or whatever, however you could kind of call that. But I very often I like this conversation very much. So whenever someone triggers it, I will speak about it a lot, and then people will complain and say, don't talk about politics. So if big fish is inevitable, why monopoly capitalism over monarchy? Because clearly some big fish are better than others. You can negotiate with some big fish. I'm not sure. What are you asking? I'm not saying monopoly is better. I'm saying that monopoly is a problem in the market, in the life, in nature. When someone is big and eats everything else, it's a problem for everyone else. I agree that that's a problem. But the solution isn't to create a president who just kills every other. You think because now he's the monopoly. That's just not a solution, and that's it. Moving towards a free market is the opposite of moving away from big fish. That's untrue. That's untrue, my friend. What I mean by actually, I probably shouldn't use the word free market. I should use the words kind of like having power not be in one place. And what is the best way to do that? That's the question. That's like the big question, right? What's the best way to do that? But it's clear that the best way to do that is not to create a central cabinet of people who just. Okay, let me make you this example and see if I can convince you. Okay, so let's say you want to become a big fish as a monopoly, right? So you are very evil. You make Amazon. You're super evil. You sell stuff. People buy it. You become big. Evil actions, right? Very evil. And then you become the big fish, and then let's say you're big enough that you can start, doing some weird things and cornering market and stuff like that, and then that's a problem, right? But for you to get there, you would have to do all the Amazon things. You know how Jeff Bezos, he was selling stuff at too low prices for like 20 years or something, so that he would kind of kill all the competition, and that would be a big problem. And then he can jack up the prices, right? That's the big thing that people are scared of. So you would have to do that. But now when you have an agency that can just say, hey, you to prison, hey, your market, your company is closed. You don't even have to do the 20-year thing where you become a big company and then you do that. Now you can just run for office, and that's way easier. So that's, in my mind, that's just not a solution, because if you want to be the big guy who, squashes the small guys, you just run for office. That's it. That's how easy that is, And unfortunately, the more psychotic you are, the better you are at getting elected. So it's a double whammy, in my opinion, there, Just run for office, you put that in parentheses as a mockery, but compared to doing the other thing, it is way easier, because if you do the other thing, which is kind of like for 20 years selling things at a loss, that's way harder than just running for office. Way harder. In your perspective, what do you do with the problem? That's one of the biggest problems in life, right? How do you make sure? When you play the Agar.io, the game, people become the big guys, and it's hard to stop them. And it's really, really hard to balance that. I don't know. It's really hard to balance that. Ideally, what would happen is, the bigger you get, the easier it is to pop you. You know how in that game, the bigger you get, it's kind of like, I guess it's not true in that game, but it should be that the bigger you get, the easier it is to bring you down. If you make mistakes. I think something like that should it could be kind of cool if that happens. What conspiracies have I stumbled upon? I was just trying to convince people that anarchy is a good idea. And anarchy does not mean without rules, it means without rulers. But you know, that's you know, enough of that, okay? Enough of that. Enough of that. Imagine if we had no traffic controls. You know, okay, let me give you an example and see if I can convince you. There are two things there are two ways you can have a cross section. What is the thing called where you have cars going in, you know, the cross, where is that a cross section? One of those is having lights that say you go, you stop, you go, you know, and you pay money for that, and you know, you have that. But there's another solution, and that's a roundabout. So the question is, one of those does not require a big guy telling you what to do, and one of those does. And before you scream, you know, this is worse and that's why the reason, just take it in that there is a solution that in many times, in many cases, is a much better solution, especially if you count in the fact that it doesn't cost any money, you know. Oh, there it is. Intersection. Yeah. Sorry. Let me focus on the scale for a second. Just for 1 second. Just for 1 second. Because Kale can... You know, you have to be mindful to win the lane against her. And if I keep talking about intersections and kings and presidents, I might embarrass myself. Who builds the roundabout? Anyone can build a roundabout. You can build it. I'm talking about the roundabout as an idea, you know. There's the roundabout can be... there can be a controlled situation, and there can be a situation based on rules that people understand, you know. You know, anybody can build a roundabout. Okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. She used flash. But, you know, keep an open mind about the situation with the roundabout, because people often think that, hey, you know, rules are better. You know, not rules, but someone telling you what to do exactly, like a very robotic fashion. It's a very, very real thing in cities, like the traffic lights, right? But there is, you know, there is something else too that could work better, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to imagine. You know, in the early days, people couldn't imagine being without slaves, you know? That was unimaginable for them. Just absolutely. Just they thought, what? Who would do anything? Who would do anything ever if we didn't have that? Who would build, you know, whatever people were building? Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And that was kind of evil, wasn't it? Okay. So it is kind of evil, you know, to think that, hey, you know, we should keep doing this, which is pretty bad, because, you know, who would do it if, you know, if they didn't. Oh, careful. There it is. There it is. Yeah, it's funny. People couldn't imagine not having slavery, and they were making exactly the same arguments that people are right now. They say, hey man, who would build the roads, who would build the roundabout? But you can find a solution, you know. You can find who. You know, you can stumble in being evil if you ask those questions, you know. You can stumble in being evil. Actually, you know what? I don't know what to build, so I'm just gonna build the Tiamat for now. I understand that the lights are not slavery. I'm just saying that sometimes people you can see, for example, if there's 100% taxation, 100%, right? You own nothing. Well, that's slavery, right? Let's be honest. So if it's 70%, that's 70% slavery, right? So you can say that, for example, if someone says, hey, you know, who will do this in Soviet Union, for example? Hey guys, you know, we need this big thing, and we need to tax you 100%. But it's because of this big thing. That's a very real comparison, you know. That's a very real thing. And let's be honest, it kind of happened, you know. And let's be honest, it happened very recently. And let's be honest, people still think that that was a good idea, you know, very recently. Pokrik, what does it take to move you from anarcho-capitalist to anarcho-Georgist? I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm an anarcho-capitalist. I'm just, I appreciate the government. I understand that it's a solution to the problem. I understand it. You know, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be annoying and, you know, and say that, hey, you know, hey, man, you know, I understand that those people are annoying. Yeah, I'm just, it's kind of clear to me that people are really closed-minded in these issues. You know, they, and it's, you know, people are really closed-minded in these issues. Where was someone taxed 100%? There are probably a lot of examples. For example, in the Soviet Union, for example, when the government just comes and says, hey, you know, in Latvia, there's a lot of this thing where they just decide that, hey, guy, you are this, because of this, whatever, and we take everything and you are sent to the camp, right? That's close to that, you know, and it happened just so much. And, you know, it's, you know, and I think it happens a lot, you know. I think it happens a lot. Happens a lot. Okay, the music stopped. We are having a bad game, I think. So that's not a government for the people. Come on, man. They have the word people. The worst governments in the world always have the word People's Republic of this, People's Republic of this, you know. And people believe it, you know. They just believe it. I can't find your email. It's on the YouTube channel. There you go into contacts and then there it is. And there it is. I checked coffee. You can send me in the coffee. You can contact me there too. It's fine. Hello, Dziabek. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the family of ghouls. Welcome to the family of ghouls. Oh. Okay. Welcome, 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 my friend. What made you subscribe? Terrible people lie. Yeah, of course. It's always the no true Scotsman thing. And I'm not sure what's the best example to counter that. It's just that it's kind of, when you see enough of times you see this, this is the People's Republic for the people of this. Boom, spoiler alert, something very bad happens. Oh, boom, it's People's Republic of this. Again, something very bad happens. It's like, it's almost like you can easily just predict stuff. You can maybe not even make any arguments because arguments require language, and you kind of have to be smarter than the other person to win, right? But if you can predict something with enough accuracy, you kind of win without words, right? And if I can predict if a party is called People's Republic of something, and I can predict that terrible stuff is going to happen, I don't even need to debate. I just win. In terms of like just life, because I can move away, for example, right? When I see something become the word, the name of the country become People's Republic of something, and I move away, I kind of won without debates, right? Because, I didn't die. Hello, Haken, too. Welcome, my friend. I'm from Latvia. I am from Latvia. Do you know where that is? Welcome to the family of ghouls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think a running theme is that too much centralist power tends to flow towards evil practices. Those are rookie numbers. Did they come into a Hassan, Abi, Mike, Frompa, Denim, Zelter stream? Yorick and Politics, sign me up. Okay, if the shoe fits, wear it. I don't want to call this politics, because I look at it as having just philosophy. Oh no, sweet Jesus, sweet Lord. Can the ghouls do it? Does she have it? That's the question. Unfortunate. Oh, I heal. Oh, I didn't know I heal through the shield. I need a sound effect for when that happens. Rewind and and look at the map. I have a very kind of a tough time telling people where exactly I stand politically, because 99% of what leftists don't like, I very much sympathize, and I understand. Oh, I think this too. I don't like this too. But then, boom, they want to create a government and fix it, and that's when I think, oh, okay, so the problem isn't fixed, something like that. So yeah. Gotta pump those numbers. Oh, okay? I get it. You are Titus. Yeah. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Those are rookie numbers. Gotta pump those numbers up. Yeah. Get a job, pump those numbers up. That's a of course who doesn't like it? Monet. But please don't feel obligated to do any such thing. I was watching the I dived a little bit into the content cop thing with what was the name of the guy who did it? Well, those of you who know. And I was thinking that I was listening to that, and I was kind of thinking, oh, I'm a little bit enjoying this. You know, I not enjoying it, but I found myself getting relaxed. I was hearing all the drama and how ridiculous it was, because this is one of the ridiculous ones, right? And I found myself just relaxed, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. Why am I relaxed? This is a very tough conversation. And I was thinking about it. I didn't really come up with a solution why because 100% honesty. I really do, when I listen to this drama, especially the dumber it is, the better. I don't get tense. It's almost like I feel like, oh, I'm not in this drama, so it's fine. And it's almost like when you watch movies about very tough war situations and you think, oh, I have such a good life. You know, maybe something like that. You know, something like that. Okay. What do we have to do to get... You asked me, what do we have to do to get to the George... what are you doing, guy? What are you doing, my boy? Kale is somewhere here, so... hopefully he picks him up. Oh no, they died. Yeah. Let's see, maybe the maiden does something? No. Okay. It just seems like a criticism of government is more like criticism of a republic, which is just one I said organized. Doesn't have to be just republic versus free market. You know, I promise you, I'm gonna try to stop using the word free market, because it literally means nothing. You know, it literally means nothing. I don't know what it means. I don't know. It means there's, you know, free. What does it mean, free? Without regulation? I guess it means without regulation, you know. But that's very often that's not what people mean, you know. Can anyone in YouTube comments help me find the email address? I'm gonna give you. Here it is. Oh, what you doing, mate? Okay. There he is. There's that Vel'Koz. I have to clip that Vel'Koz. You know, let me try to convince you again. How do I look at this situation? I look at it from for example, historical perspective, right? When you go back in times of tribes, let's say you have a tribe leader, and the tribe leader says, you do this, otherwise we kill. You know, something like that. Pretty bad, right? Don't like that. Then, you know, it's the same thing with the king. You know, you do as I say. Pretty bad. And the way I see it, life has become better and better the more that has been not done anymore. The more the power sort of, and I hate to use this word because it's kind of a buzzword, but decentralizes. And that's it, you know. Anytime you have one president, let's just make two presidents. It's going to be better. Of course, you know, it could get ridiculous. It could get ridiculous when we pay salaries of many presidents and nothing else changes. Oh, of course he has it. Of course he has it, and I have to be scared now. Maybe oh, no. No. Too many this time. I think I need something, I don't even know. Do I need this? I'll try getting this. Twitch chat can clip it. Twitch chat, can you clip it? Poke, is it possible to play League casually, or is League too addicting? You know what? I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because for me personally, I'm in a different spot. I have the YouTube channel. And I sometimes think, hey, am I addicted to the League? Or am I just, you know, doing the YouTube channel? And it's very tough to say. It's very, very tough to say. I would actually cautiously say that no. You can't play it without getting addicted. I would say, yeah. You cannot. But maybe you can. Maybe you can. Set died to Nasus without using his ult. It is what it is, you know. Sometimes you deal with sets like that. Sometimes you deal with sets like that. I do it in moderation. You know, moderation is of course good. Moderation is of course good. Hello, broker Zip. Hello, my friend. Yeah, moderation is of course good. The more moderation happens, the better it is. Meaning, you know, for addictive stuff. Okay. Addiction, you know, yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. There's an addiction to all kinds of things, but League of Legends is up there. It's up there, you know. It's up there. And sometimes I wonder, hey, when am I playing because I'm addicted? When am I playing because I have a channel, you know? With the most decentralized would be a society of free agents with equal say in what's done with that resource or world. The problem is that you can't do that. You can't do the equal thing without having something that without having basically a god figure or something like that. And that's, you know, that's what it is. It is what it is. Oh no, that's why Nasus is building that. Now I get what the real problem is. Now I get it. So I think the simple answer to all of this, if I can be so arrogant, extremely arrogant, and say, hey guys, I have an answer. The answer is you can't solve the problem of big fish becoming big, because that's a fact of life. You just can't solve it, because solving that requires there to be an even bigger fish. And that's just a problem. And I think if a lot of small fishes, you know how a school of fish does it? They become a big fish visually, and they scare the bigger fish away. And that's a kind of a cute and interesting solution. It's not really a solution, but it at least does something, you know? It at least does something. Why don't you play with voice lines on? I turned them off because I thought that it would get me overlap kind of with my own voice, you know, and I that's why I did that. Do I TP in, or is it too bad? Is Nasus going to TP in? He could. Let's see. If Nasus doesn't TP in, then it's good because we get the dragon. Okay, set big time good. Nasus is getting some free stuff out of this. It's unfortunate a little bit. It's a little bit unfortunate, but we do get the dragon. It's kind of like Nasus gets richer, but at least we get a dragon for that. Are you mid or top? I'm mid. I was mid. I was mid against Kale. Oh no! Sweet Lord, sweet Lord. Actually, you know, if he gets this, is it fine? I don't know. Sweet Jesus, Nasus gap. Okay. That Nasus, he could just turn around and I would be dead. So corporation is not distributing their profits to workers and keeping the money is what's right. Well, it's, you know, who... I don't even know how to answer that, because I guess, yeah, because if you didn't do enough to earn, why would you get it? I don't understand. Okay. Oh, there it is. There he is. Oh, no. Oh, sweet Lord. But yeah, you know, I don't know. I don't know that question. You know, you kind of have to think about those questions, because people like to bring up, you know, humans innately look for a leader. I understand that. That's a good argument. You know, that's I kind of sympathize with that, because I understand that human nature is unfortunately what it is, but I feel like, hey, maybe we can ascend and become perfect, you know? Maybe we can ascend and become perfect. Okay. I'm just walking around, unfortunately. I sent you a picture of the fire in Bavaria. Okay? Okay. Gonna open it up. Gonna open it up and see after the match. After the match. Do you really think... I feel like that chat in Twitch is not speaking to me anymore. It's not speaking to me anymore. Da, 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 da. Oh no. Oh sweet Jesus, we lose. We have a problem. We have a problem. I'm not useless the whole game. They are just winning. That's it, you know. Other waves lanes are winning. They want you to carry more than you can, and of course it's on me to, you know, because if you want me to carry, you know, I should be able to carry, but I can only carry as much as I can and no more. So, you know, I guess that is on me in that case. You know, I guess that's on me. Itty what itty. Okay. Bobber diff. Yes. It is a bobber diff. Seth, please don't let them touch me. Okay. Oh, we could get Baron now. Can't we? I do agree with this Yumi, because, hey, I should be able to carry. I should be better. And that's, you know, you might think, hey man, you know, don't let her get away with that. It doesn't matter, you know, I'll let her get away with that. Because it is true, I should be even better. I should be the best, you know. I should be the best. Oh, by the way, yeah, you have emojis for the subscribers on Twitch. I made special, you know, just 2 versions. A version that is okay. There's that Vel'Koz. Unfortunately, it looks like it's over for us here. Well, unfortunately, it looks like it's over for us here, so let's just have a moment of silence. You know what I need? I need that sound effect that says, well, now I'm mad. You know how Zach says that? Well, now I'm mad. And you should use that once this happens, you know? Hello, Baron Rico. Hello, my friend. Oh, is the Twitch channel new? Yes, the Twitch channel is new. The Twitch channel is new. Oh no, it's not new. It has been out for ages. But I have but I only recently started streaming more. Always appreciate your content. Pokerface, thank you for streaming as much as you have. Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming more. I'm just trying to find my footing, you know. I'm trying to find a place for me. What exactly can I do to you know, just to have more and more interesting. I'm not sure it's talking about politics. I don't know. You tell me. Maybe it is, but I feel like that's not what I'm gonna do. Just because, you know, it is kind of a very big interest for me, but I feel like it's you know, I don't know. It's either too triggering for people, or I don't really feel like I need to be the arbiter of truth. Arbiter of truth of this. But, you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's see the email that I got. Let's see the email. Titus. Easter in Bavaria. Sir Pokrick, here's a picture of the fire last night. Is that you beside the fire? I'm in Germany right now. My mom is coming to Germany soon and she leaves. I think comes in work farm 2 days. He farm. That's true. That I don't know if you want me to react to it live or what, but the fire is awesome. The fire is absolutely awesome. The fire is fire. Okay? The fire is fire. That's an awesome picture, actually. That's a nice picture. Wasn't it hot? It must have been big time hot. Big time hot. Yeah. Big time hot. People cannot control themselves when talking to politics. You can react or not. Yeah, the picture is, the other picture is also awesome. 2 top G pictures, actually. What kind of a food is there? That's Germany, right? Okay, I can't comment too much on German food. You know, send me some pictures of Rossel, Latvian food that you eat. I'm going to be able to comment on that. You know what I can show you? This is what I want to do on this channel on Twitch, okay? This is what I want to do on Twitch. Okay, I have to enable VS Code. This is what I've been working on. I have something that I personally feel like might look very nice once it's finished. And you tell me what you think about this, okay? Localhost, okay. Let me just very quickly open this up so you can see. And it, you know, obviously it has some problems, but obviously it has some problems, but I really want to show this to you. So where is the, let's do the studio mode. And let's go and open up.
New donation from you. Don't get to know my real name. Kind of want to see if I can make you change your hat.
Want to see if I can make you change your hat. Okay, I have to react to that real quick. Do you want me to change my hat? This one? The bunny ears? Or do you want me to change the one that is the normal one? You know what? Since people, this is not working out as I expected, easily, you can tell me what kind of a hat to put on and I will do it. Maybe after this match, okay? Maybe after this match. Maybe after this match. I wouldn't want to change the ears immediately because on this stream, it's kind of like an Easter stream. But I don't know, maybe you have... I could put something on the ears. The only problem is that, if you care about this, the only problem is that this is not going to go into the regular hat. If you're donating with the idea that, it's going to go into the regular hat. But yeah, thanks for the donation. Means a lot. It really means a lot. It warms my heart, I just want to quickly show you this because I'm kind of I'm very happy about how this turned out to be. Bum 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 ba dum. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Transition, right? That's the transition. So before I tried to make the Zack game, and I tried to just use a, just an image. But this one I like much better. So this is a real blob that you can. Okay, it doesn't work perfectly yet, but you can kind of drag on it, and then it shoots itself, right? And there are sound effects if you can hear them. I think they are too. They are not, good enough yet. But okay, the game is starting. But you get the point. You can drag on it, and it looks pretty convincing as a blob. Right? It really does. And I didn't know you can do this. And I was working on it the whole day yesterday. And I think if I add more Teemo and Yumi's here, it's going to be pretty funny. Okay. Anyway, let me just go back to the game. Transition. Boom. So what about that bunny, this bunny thing? What about that bunny thing? Okay. That looks cool, man. What software are you? My friend, pure JavaScript. Muscled in by Google Gemini 2.5. Are the soft body physics an absolute pain? Well, it might be for the Gemini. But to be fair, before you think that it's easy, it's actually very, very hard. Because you can't just tell him, hey man, make a blob. It's just not going to work. You have to... It's almost like you have to tweak so much, and it's really not that easy. It's doable, but before Gemini or ChatGPT, I couldn't have done any of that jazz. And once I figured out how to do it, that's when it was like, oh, okay, I know. There are only 6 spheres. They're all connected with constraints. If I click on one of them and drag, it just moves it back. And when I release, it charges, you know, it applies impulse. But to reach that point, it's very, very hard, you know? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it would be very, very easy to copy the project. But to reach the point that it actually works, you have to do so much experimentation that it's almost like, yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's kind of tough, you know? And yeah, the soft body physics of the Zach, I think they look awesome. You know, I can't wait to show it to the Zach subreddit. I just have to finish it so it looks a little bit, you know, finished. What is this Mordekaiser doing? Okay. Okay. What is Ivern doing? Did he give a shield to him or what? Okay. And yeah, what am I using? I'm just, you know, pure JavaScript. Actually, not pure. It's Matter.js for physics. But, you know. By the way, let me tell you something about Gemini, okay? I was a fool. First I was a fool, then I was petrified. Because I had been paying for ChatGPT and Google One. Turns out you get Gemini and Google One. I tried Gemini 2.5 Pro version. Boom, much better than ChatGPT. And this is historic because up until this point, Gemini kind of sucked. Okay, Gemini kind of sucked. Now it doesn't anymore. So it remembers so much and it understands so much. And someone said that, oh, you know what I like about Gemini? It doesn't lick my ass. Sorry to be family unfriendly for a second, but I laughed when I read it. And the comment said that, hey, it doesn't lick my ass in the sense that it doesn't immediately do whatever I want to bait this guy, but I don't want to die. In the sense that it immediately executes everything that I said. It actually says, hey man, this is not a good idea. Let's do it this way. And that actually happened multiple times. He said, no, don't even do this. This is going to be crazy if you do this. Yeah. The guy is dead. Welcome to League of Legends. I don't know. What am I supposed to do there? Come on. Did you see the health? Why? Please, don't make this stream sad. Don't make the stream sad. Okay. So yeah, Gemini is a very, very, very strong model. I suggest using it for any of the software developers over there. Okay. Okay. There it is. What item do I get? Oh, this is finally a game for this item. I've been willing to buy it for a long time and I haven't had the chance, and this time I have it. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. I don't know if I'm alone in this, but if you can make League as entertaining as you did, then I feel you could make fun of playing something like Baldur's Gate or whatever. Oh, you asked me about if I think about doing variety stuff. So let me tell you about Half-Life, okay? A lot of people demand I play Half-Life, okay? I was thinking that the Half-Life thing is a very good idea. Oh, Ivern. Ivern. I would like to have Ivern on my team. But he's not, you know. So what happens with the Half-Life? Let me tell you my plan right now. So Half-Life, I think it would be a good idea, for example, in streams when... Because League, on this stream, I've been lucky, okay? Because they have been not banning Yorick and picking Yorick. So this is a very, very lucky stream. It could have been very easily that this would go down in history as you know, a stream where I don't get to play any games because Yorick is banned and picked or whatever. And in those cases, I would play something else, like Half-Life, for example. So I was thinking that on this stream it's going to happen, and I would maybe play the Half-Life when I get the 12-hour ban. But that didn't happen. And, okay, can I get this? But that didn't happen, so it's lucky. But the other problem is that I can't read the chat while I play that game. I just can't do it because there are a lot of problems with it. I haven't figured out how to set this up. So he has ult, and I don't know if I win this. I think I might. So let's see. I might win it. Nope. Classic. Classic unfortunate Mordekaiser situation. That's sad. Dual monitor. Maybe. You know, maybe I can figure out a way to do that. But currently, yeah, for this particular stream, I can't do it. But yeah, definitely. Half-Life is something that I do intend on continuing. Okay. Okay. So what about that hat? What about that hat? It is a rule on this channel that if you donate, you have to come up with a hat, okay? You can't leave me hanging here. Come on. Because the thing is, I feel indebted, okay, to you. So you have to make sure that I don't feel that. So you have to come up with a hat. Oh. So I can feel good, so I can sleep, okay? Okay. There he is. Okay, careful. He shouldn't have his ult, right? Okay. Slapped him actually a little bit. He has the better item, but I still slapped him without Maiden. So, you know, Yorick with ghouls win Mordekaiser, you know. I do have 2 monitors, okay? Okay, I have 3 monitors. One of them I simply dropped, if you can believe it, and it doesn't work. So that's out of the picture. Now I have a Wacom tablet which has a monitor, but it doesn't work. So I was trying to connect it before this stream, didn't work. So that's why I ended up with not having 2 monitors. A little chick or an egg? Oh, no, 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 no. Almost made the same mistake again. Not gonna make the same mistake twice, Mr. Mordekaiser. Not gonna happen, okay? Not gonna happen. Sometimes I think, for example, that, oh, you know, he has 30%, I can probably do it anyway, you know? But then it turns out I can't. No, 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 it's fine. You can inject chaos. I'm just kind of semi-joking about this, you know? Don't do it. Don't do it. Please. Pantheon. What you doing, boy? Okay, actually. Oh, sorry. I didn't know you're so strong. Oh, excuse me. Excusez-moi. Okay? Excusez-moi. I thought that, oh, please, Ivern, there it is. There it is. These are bad people here. Bad hombres, man. No, no, you can, you know, you can inject as much chaos as you want. You can inject as much chaos as you want. Okay. I think I can push this because Mordekaiser died, didn't he? Look at how much she got slapped there. Okay, that was a little too eager of me, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Ivern, don't do it. Ivern, you know, when I say don't do it, I feel like, who am I talking to? Who am I talking to, man? Who am I talking to? Bottom. My second favorite moment of playing Nami is getting ulted by Mod and killing him in his ult, then getting showered with question marks. How did you do? What, was he 1% or something? How does that happen? Okay, this game is not chaos. This game is not chaos. This game is not chaos. Okay. Well, if they're not gonna come here, I can just keep pushing forever. Honestly, I can just keep pushing forever. Yorick push, Yorick smash. Even if he buys these weird items, he still push, he still smash. Okie dokie, can I finally go back? I really love Yorick's quotes, such as Yorick's... Whoopsie daisies, there it is. Such as Yorick's smash. Yeah, those quotes are fire. Those quotes are indeed fire. Yorick smash. Yorick. Bum. Da-dum bum bum bum. Da-da-da. I think this is the correct time to do this. Blew it up.
Thunder, bunga bunga. Hack, plunder, bunga bunga. Crack, thunder, bunga bunga.
Welcome to the family, Simon. Simeon85. Welcome to the family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You can use the slap even without subscription, but I do appreciate that. Hype train has started. Buchov, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the family. I was thinking about the hype train today, talking with the wife about it. And I still don't understand the point of it, just, you know, except for just being such an excuse to, you know, subscribe. Which is a good thing, obviously, but yeah, I'm happy. Of course I'm happy. I'm happy when the channel grows. Hello, Monk. Hello. I'm glad you chat for the first time. It's always wonderful when someone does something for the first time. In the sense, especially if they've been afraid. I'm not imagining you were afraid to chat, but, you know, sometimes people are. I was chatting on Azap's stream, and I wouldn't say I was afraid, but... Oh, please, sweet Jesus. Oh, I thought that he's gonna use his R. Not R, but the thing. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for the subscriptions. Welcome, Buchob F to the family. Welcome, my friend. I don't know where his E is. Maybe he didn't, know about it. Welcome, welcome to the family. Oh, I think I survived this. I think I survived this, Mr. Mordekaiser, even if you... You know what? I'm gonna bait him into the ult. Yeah, there it is. He thinks he still smashes, right? And he might, but 2 assists, right? 2 assists. Big IQ. Although I could have survived. Could have survived that one. Mord was below half and I had all my resets. I ran away from him and hit from a distance. Then I ulted him and heal. He missed everything. You should have started with he missed everything. You should have started with that. Hello, Bergenorm. Hello, my friend. This is AP Yorick, 100%. This is AP Yorick. Well, it's not 100%. Actually, it's almost 100% if you look at these items, right? They do magic damage. So. I think it works. I don't know. These days, it's all random. I think Yorick, as I said before in my last video, I think he could become a... a very, very annoying pestilence upon the League of Legends. Because he would be kind of like surviving. Oh, what are you doing, boy? What is this? What are these guys doing? How many people do we have? We actually don't have... Okay. Okay, 2. Okay. Why am I inting? Why am I inting here, mid? He could kind of become a strong... You know what happened? He became more boring, less skill required, and more strong. That's what happened with all these changes. So, it is what it is. Jesus Christ Almighty. Is it better to say Sweet Lord or Jesus Christ on this day in particular compared to other days? What do you think? No Angel, Rick. Yes, sorry. I just don't want to build Guardian's Angel. That's about it. But it would be very fitting, very, very fitting. He became less reliant on items. Maybe that's the way it could be looked at. Hello, Monkey. Hello, my friend. Hype train ended at level 1. Well, that's not a good sound effect for that. Oh, actually, someone's... Okay. So why did the hype train end if someone subscribed? Shouldn't it have, become bigger? What's going on there? Okay. I can't do anything really there. Oh. Oop. Whoopsie daisies. Let me just use this just out of chaos. Yeah. Welcome to the family, MK Atil. I feel like I've read your nickname a few times already. Welcome. Welcome, 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 my friend, to the family.
With his might, the land renewed. Yorick smash, raise the dead and make a splash. In the chaos holds the stash. Farming
I was too late. Were you actually baited by that hype train? If you started on Twitch before, I'd have like 36 months of subscription. Huh. Yeah, well, that's my bad for not knowing marketing and growth. That's actually my bad. Mordekaiser's kind of fed, so this game is on me. I fed him a little bit. You know, so sorry, my teammates. I hope that you can carry me. Honestly. Can the ghouls finish that by destroying those? As an unbeliever, I always felt Christ was something and then I had to turn back on the game. Ba-da-da-da. Okay. Let me tell you what I like about Twitch. I like that people have a better streaming experience. But I like that people on YouTube can watch it better. I think they can work together. Almost like I'm committing cultural appropriation. You know what I like about Christ is that people are relaxed about it and you can joke about him and they're not getting mad, you know? They're just not getting mad. Oh, there they are. Actually, we have to catch her here. Okay.
Yorick farm, Yorick goes to help, gets distracted. Yorick smash, Yorick farm, Yorick
Okay.
goes to help, gets distracted.
There's a fight, and Mordekaiser is stuck with Maiden, which could turn to be awesome. I could pay back my sins, you know? I could pay for my sins there. But they still lose, so, well, I do what I do. If only people had the same attitude. Yeah, that's... You know, sometimes religions just are better. I'm not saying it's better as a religion or as a human beings or whatever. But if you're so sensitive, you bad. You know, calm down. You bad. You know, that's how, you know, come on. It is such an easy thing to see that, hey, the ones who are... I'm actually, I don't know how to put this, but you get what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm saying. Who mad, yeah. I could actually get this inhibitor here. Okay. I don't think that they are gonna take the Nexus, though. Right? Can I get this and they don't not taking the Nexus? Can that happen? I actually don't know. I'm kind of scared that they will lose the game there. Okay. Hello, Pisha. Welcome to the channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And welcome to the family. I should say welcome to the channel when you follow, and welcome to the family when you subscribe. I think that could be my thing. Not thing, but you know, it makes sense if I say that, because it should make sense to have different different sort of okay. Okay. Have to be real careful here. Real careful here. Okay, not gonna happen though. They caught me. They caught me good. They did it. They did it. Okay. I don't ask this much of you, my friends, but what would you like? And I know, I don't want to ask this because I know that it's not something you need to think about really, but I'm just curious. What is it you like best when I do on streams and on videos? I'm just curious. I'm not asking you to think in my place, you know, what to do, but win. Okay. That's, you know, that's not easy. That's not easy to do. No, you know, what kind of content, you know, what do you want, you know, what do you watch the most? He's level 18 and I kind of have to survive this. Oh. I would say worth, right? Because he has quite a big bounty. Got baited. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Bum ba-dum bum. You know, sometimes there could be there might be an unhealthy relationship when a channel would be trying to do what people say they should be doing, but also at the same time it really does help to see, oh, okay, people really did appreciate this, and I thought that this sucks, but it didn't. Okay. Okay, careful. Yeah, we, you know, honestly, I did lose that lane against that Mordekaiser in a sense. So I'll do better next time, don't you worry. I'll do better next time. Don't you? Let's sweep this under the rug, okay? I like it when the children jump and deal an unexpected amount of damage, killing unsuspecting squishies. That's not gonna happen anymore, yeah, sorry. Yeah, not gonna happen, man. What do you think about the Yorick nerfs? Yeah, I said before already, but I'm gonna, you know, since you asked, I'm gonna say it again. He became easier to play, stronger, but more boring and less skill involved. Yeah. I like when you talk about snails while smashing tower and stealing jungle points. I also like to hear stories about how communists made life so much better for your grandmother. That, you know, you're trying to take, you know, a little bit of that, you know, trying to poke me a little bit, you know. You're trying to poke me a little bit. It's fine, Pisha. It's fine. I understand. I understand completely. Yorick in the wrong place. In the wrong place. Yorick in the wrong place. Oh, I shouldn't say Pisha. Well, you know, I can't please all languages, right? Yeah. You know, I can't please all the languages, sorry. Hello, welcome to the family, Nem Kunai. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Came for the league, stuck around for the personality. And now that warms my heart, you know. That's what you want to hear, okay? That's what you want to hear. And I know I say that lightly, but it does mean, you know, I'm the type of person who will very rarely to your face say compliments, because I just feel bad saying compliments. What was it? Eggs on the bunny ears? I think it was eggs, right? Let's say Easter egg. Let's see what I have in my it doesn't make any sense, but let's see how it looks like before we decide to say that, hey, this doesn't make any sense. So let's throw this idea out, right? Let's not do that yet. Egg. Easter. But as far as I understand, commies didn't serve the best food or any food. Now, my grandmother, okay, I shouldn't say this ever. But I'm gonna say it out of respect for my community, because it's just the truth, okay? But when I run for Georgia's anarcho-capitalist president in the future, people are going to bring this up. My grandmother. So in Latvia, we were occupied by two sides. You know the story, right? It was German side, and then it was the Soviet side. And the Soviet side was way rougher because they were more brutal, poorer, and just worse. And the German side were richer because they had, I don't know why they were richer, but according to my grandmother, they had more kind of better stuff. And when they occupied, it was still an occupation, but she said that she liked it better because it was just factually, she had more stuff. So when they criticize Latvia, Estonia, all these countries about taking sides, it is true in the sense of, hey, you had to choose. It is true that you chose one of the evils, and you chose, my grandmother chose the Germany side. So when people say that, hey, Latvia was on the side of Germany, well, yeah, but it was like you were, in between two meat grinders. So it wasn't really taking sides. It was just, hey, they gave you this food, those gave you just vodka, and it was what it was. It was what it was. Now these eggs at the edges of the ears don't make any sense. You'll see them in a moment. But I'm gonna, leave them as they are. I'm gonna leave them as they are. I'm gonna leave them as they are. Okay, let me ban Smolder before they rage at me. Are you ready to see the senseless eggs? And the reason I say that, when I run for president in the future, people are gonna use this clip It's because people don't care about nuance. They will say, "Oh, he liked Germany. That's it. Boom." No, actually, it was the grandmother, right? I didn't even live through those times, so I'm not even in the picture in that sense. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, I'm working hard to make the eggs work. Oh, they do not. They are flying in air. Okay, okay. Is this even better? Okay, this is bad. But I'm thinking, what if this is better? Because it would make less sense if they were attached, which was what I was trying to do. I was trying to attach them to the ears. Yeah. I kind of like this better. I'm gonna fly with it. I'm gonna fly with it. Let me make it them a little bit more random, like this. Like this, maybe. Yeah. My family used to be German occupiers. Well, you're in a worse position, I guess. So. Poland here. You look like a bumblebee. Really? Well. There is something to it. There is something to it, actually. Can we get the Spirit Blossom skin? Yes, we can. You ask, I provide. Yorick is not in the Spirit Blossom universe, so, you know. I asked the Zach community of what is the most satisfying enemy to jump on, and I remember on last stream I said that they didn't give me an answer, but they actually gave me a lot of answers, and one of them was really good. They said that Jin, who's in ult. But we also hid from the Nazis. I can imagine there was all kinds of very, very crazy, like, you know, very, very crazy stories. That's the thing about Latvia. You know Ari Matti on Kill Tony? He's kind of lightly saying that Estonia chose the side of Nazis, but that's just not true. I know, because it's the same situation as in Latvia. And he's just doing that as a kind of a lighthearted comedian, you know? And it is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe I should choose the easiest choice, which is the Tiamat, because if you go for these items, you kind of have to be smart about it. You can't just willy-nilly buy one of them, and then it turns out that, this actually sucks, you know. So you kind of have to be very careful about that. So the Tiamat might be an easier choice, you know. Interesting. That's really cool of you to say that. I will, you know, steal the word cool from Galm 1. What were you supposed to do with vodka? Drink your hunger away or trade? Okay, you know, the vodka thing was kind of a joke because that's what they're known for, but it was very, very true that there was so much hunger associated with Russia because, well, you know, you have to remember when I try to speak well of some kind of anarchy or something. You have to realize that when I do that, in my mind, I have the opposite in mind, and when I think of the enormous suffering that happens because of the centralized thing, that's when I think, oh, are we gonna have a little trouble building a road? Well, I can take that, you know. Just get this meat grinder away, you know. Let's not have the meat grinder, okay? Because that's literally what it was. That's literally what it was. Careful with this. Have to be really careful with this. Okay, let's focus this match. We have to win. Because I think I've lost LP on this stream. And I can't lose to this Echo. I just can't allow that. That can't happen. Oh. Damn, he reacted fast. He reacted fast. Okay. He still farms like a caveman because he took a beating and it didn't matter. Tiamat items feel expensive. It is true. It is true. 100%. They are. Oh, that's a good dodge. I don't know if it was worth. Probably was. But the thing is, I don't have a good answer to him. So I feel like Tiamat is the only thing for me to get. What you doing, boy? Made a mistake, paid for it. That's it. That's it. Literally one of the biggest what you doing, boy moments of the stream, I think. Oh no. Lucky. I'm just gonna randomly get the Tiamat, yeah. I think he doesn't have flash, does he? You pay for this. You pay for this. You pay for the dinner. You pay for the dinner, my boy. Or does he pay for the dinner? No, he does not. I actually have noticed that Echo wins lane against Yorick very, very often. I have to be very careful about that. I am very lucky he didn't get level 6 off of this. Boom. There you have it, folks. There you have it. Now I'm not scared anymore. That's interesting. I didn't know about that about you. About the story about Germany. He's not leveling up his R, which means that when he can level it up to do it in place for the damage. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the channel, whoever subscribed. T Low AG. Gotta be really careful now. Who knows where they are? Okay. Okay. It's me, Sir Tsixali from YouTube. Oh! You're gonna be interested in about the updates on Half-Life, right? Unfortunately, I couldn't figure out a good way to do it this week, so it's gonna be moved to the next week. So sorry about that. Sometimes it what it with me. He's still not leveling up that R. Look at that. High IQ, right? But I notice it, so who's IQ higher? Who's IQ higher?
Yorick was winning top lane. He was slaying them all with ease.
Okay. Can go. Still not leveling it up. Why is he doing that? Doesn't he need that for escaping? He does. Oh, come on, Evelyn. Depends on what Echo is gonna do here. Yeah. Hopefully there's not gonna be the stun. Okay. Maybe I get immediately Leandri's Torment. What do you think about that? He doesn't have... Oh, did he use his ult to come back without using TP? Sometimes these big brain decisions that they do, I think end up hurting them. I don't know. Sometimes they really do end up hurting them, I think. Overthinking it. I'm not gonna tell him how to flip burgers where he flips burgers, but yeah. Okay. He's there. Echo. Oh, he has more CS than I do. Wow. I need to... Oh. Yes. Kinda tough. Kinda tough, this one. What is the status of lethality, Yorick? Slugdog, you may haven't uploaded since the rework. The status is, it's very, very likely dead forever. It is very, very, extremely, extremely likely it's dead forever. Oh no, I'm very sloppy this stream. Sorry, my friends. I really am. I don't know what else to say. I really am. Content slop. Again, there she is. Yeah, I can't escape this, I think. Unlucky.
Yorick smash, Yorick fun, Yorick goes to help, gets distracted Yorick
By the way, I don't like that no auto charcoal damage nerf to the minions. I think it's fine. That one is fine. I don't think that's is that big a deal. That one specifically.
Yorick walks with shovel in hand through the fields and desert sands, rising breeze from dusty land, holding power in his command.
There's no auto so yeah, I noticed that too. I think that's almost worth, you know, saying that it's a very, very bad change. Almost worth.
Darkness makes them grow, turning battle to show. Yorick smash, raise the dead and make a splash. In the chaos holds the stash, farming dreams that never crash.
It kills the vibe a little bit. I do agree. I think it kills the vibe too a little bit.
With each step, the shadows
Last time this happened, I got ganked immediately, so I have to play safer. If she ganks so much.
marching forward, never dread. Fields ablaze with ghastly crew. Yorick's path shining through.
Gonna get ganked. There it is. There it is. This is good. Or is it? They do be ganking, you know? Oh. Is that Garen gonna save me? Hello, Laurentiu. Hello, my friend. Happy Easter to you too. This is an Easter stream. As you can see very clearly. Yorick smash eggs. Oh. Yorick smash eggs. Farm, farm, farm again. Wow, it's been a while since I've lost the first tower. But I have to say, fair and square, yeah, he won. Fair and square. I didn't pay attention to those ganks. That's about all. And that's about what happened here. I didn't pay attention to those ganks. Okay. We have a lot of grubs. Hello, Kostadin. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Greetings and happy Easter from Germany. You look wonderful today. I know I do. I know I do. Absolutely wonderful. I do agree. Okay. Very tough last 3 or whatever the amount of games it has been. So, you know. It is what it is. It is what it is. They are chasing me through the jungle. Very, very far. Very, very far. Very, very, very far, I have to say. Yes, zero demolish procs. That is 100% true. That is 100% true. I have to pick myself up, you know. I have to start doing some slapping. Because I feel like I can't do it. Maybe the focus isn't there. I don't know. Yorick smash not happening. Yorick smash not happening. You know, my grandmother made, I think I told this already. I might have told it. But she created some pancakes from meat. And she told me that there's no meat in them. And I said, hey, I know you sometimes make crazy stuff because of your days with hunger. And she made some pancakes with, it was meat from lungs. And I don't know if you know how lung meat tastes. Pretty bad. So I put some gravy on it and I almost puked. I remember clearly that she lied about it, not having meat. And, you know, the fact that she makes sweet pancakes with meat, and it's not like meatballs you get in IKEA, which kind of works. She made a crazy experiment with that just because of her, you know, days of kind of respecting, you know, it was like, it's a different time when you were so hungry you wanted to eat everything. So that kind of bled into our childhood from her, which is something I appreciate, of course, you know, but still, she was very funny in that way. She was lying about food that she made. Okay. She pings the fated ashes. Hey, Slothy. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the ghoul family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the ghoul family. Okay. How long you have been playing Yorick? You know, how long this channel is alive. That plus like a few months, I would say. So it's about 3 years, more than 3 years, I think. Not 4. Probably not worth TPing here. So, let me just TP and leave. Let me just TP and leave. Maybe I can farm something because Maiden is pushing bottom. Maybe I can get this because of that. Let's see. No, don't surrender. Come on. Don't 4-1 me. Okay. Okay. So my grandmother was a nice person. I liked her. Even though she was, in a funny way, toxic. Do you have any strange traditions for Easter? In Bulgaria, we fight with eggs. Czech people whip their women with branches. Oh, we have the same thing too, yeah. We do. It's not only women. We actually. It's funny that you say only women, because we whip each other with those, you know, the branches of. I don't know what the tree is called. It has these little balls, soft balls, as the flowers. Before the flowers come, they have these little soft balls. So you whip them. So we whip each other with those. So that's kind of, I guess, weird and funny. I don't know. American friends can tell from the chat if that's funny or weird or whatever. And we do fight with eggs too. Do you not do that in the States or in Australia or UK? The fights with eggs? Do you not do that? Okay. Okay. Let's leave these guys pushing. Hopefully they get me enough so that I get the Leandries. No, you fight with eggs, meaning, you know, an egg against an egg. And whoever loses, whichever cracks first, then, you know, whatever, you lose. Whatever the amount, you know. Willow tree. I don't know if that's a willow tree. It's I have no idea how it's called. But it has these soft little balls of hair, hairy balls. Yeah. Confetti egg fights. I think Yorick is a person called like Old Aurelian. Personality. Character like Old Aurelian. Okay, let's farm a bit. Let's farm just a little bit. You hit each other with hairy balls and wood. Not wood, just hairy balls. We just do the classic Easter egg hunt. We don't do that at all. Yeah. The biggest thing is the fighting with the eggs. We as children really liked that. Echo. Echo. I think you did. Have to get out. Echo. Sorry to say. I have to insist. I have to insist on that one. Although he could get away actually if that Garen is not the fastest one in the universe. Okay. It was branches, yeah. Branches with those hairy ball things. Oh no, they surrender. Well, itty witty. Itty witty. Sad, but again, itty witty. Sad, sad, sad. It's bloody strange egg fighting when you try to explain it to people, they don't do it. I don't think it's that strange. I don't think it's that hard. Chat, do you not understand? Hey, you know, we have eggs, you know, and we just, you know, for example, you do the rock, paper, scissors, and whoever is the first one, one of the person, you know, one of you holds the egg, the other one just hits it, and it either breaks or not. So the one who got the broken egg, that lost. That's as simple as that is. And the randomness of that is that you don't know, which egg is going to do that, because there's really no way of knowing which is stronger. Yeah. You decorate them first, yeah. From the poor days of Latvian countryside, you would tie some dill around it, or just, you know, some grass around it. All kinds of stuff like that. You would all kinds of stuff like that, and then you would boil it in the water, so it makes a very nice texture on it. Yeah. So that's that. That is that. But then, of course, you know, once people discovered color, and the color became available, not just discovered, but when it became, you know, a widely used thing, it became much easier. Much easier to color them using kind of pencils and stuff like that. Da 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 da. I actually need to very quickly leave for a second, but I'll be back. I'll be back in a moment, okay? I will be back in a moment. Let me turn off this thing. Okay. Okay. Okay, my friends. Unfortunately, this is the worst opponent I could have ever imagined, but it what it is. It what it is. Let's do this. Let's do this. Where is the little button? Boom. Here we go. Here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ba-dum. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum. Universe. Okay, I have to click a bunch here. I have to click around a bunch. Okay, this is fine then. Okay. Okay, let's jump into the match. Why are swole men evil? Is that a dad joke? You know what? Let's test it. ChatGPT. Why are swole men evil? Oh, you mean set? Oh, it's he's giving me a HR response, like 5 pages response. So I don't think it's gonna happen. It's a set joke. Hello, I love Yorick. Welcome, my friend. Let's jump into the match. Now, this set was trying to freeze, and I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. He's just beating me up. Oh, just beat me up immediately for no reason. Just for no reason, just beat me up a little bit. Punch me left and right. What was the point of that freeze if, Oh, boom. Won that one. There it is. Oh, won another one. What? What you doing, boy? Why are you letting me win the lane? If chickens ever evolve to become as smart as us, they're gonna be pissed. Well, do you think they're gonna make chicken GPT and then, you know, let it take their jobs? Let it take their jobs? Someone says you sound cool. You sound cool, man. You sound cool. In my mind, comment like that is cool. Cool as ice. When people say cool, do they think ice or they think... Oh, Set, careful. You could get punished for this. Chicken jockey. What is a chicken jockey? Why is Set bad? Because it's hard to... It's very hard to win against him. That's about all. You know, this guy I think plays bad. That's why I'm at least not losing immediately. So, you know, I think he could have just, you know, done a lot more. Ooh. Oh, I should have actually turned to him, and I would have won that one. Damn. Okay. Set. It's time to set yourself on fire. It's time to do that. Not as a religious thing, but as a I don't know, just to make my life easier. No, don't do that. Oh, sweet Jesus. Sweet Lord. Sweet Lord. Got me. Oh, they actually... Oh, I can't get this. That's unlucky, but, you know, it ain't what it ain't. Are you Orthodox Catholic? Why do you ask that? Obviously not. Or is there something I say that makes you think that I am? Not obviously not, you know, you can't know that, but no. Nope. Is it because I say sweet Jesus? Okay. Okay, Mr. Set. He was trying to dodge, and I didn't even know that he's trying to do that. Okay. Everybody's got zombie Jesus on brain. Do you think he's gonna be risen as a zombie? Come on. Don't make those jokes about the Lord, thy Christ. He will turn the other cheek. But, you know, what if he has 3 cheeks? How many cheeks will he turn? Okay. Okay. There he is. There's that poke. There's that poke. He'll eat the other cheek because he's a zombie. Sounds pretty bad if you you know, make it that way. Oh. He actually could have, you know, thrown me in that tower. So I should be careful. Okay. For some reason, I remember that there was a cannibal documentary for some ungodly reason there was on YouTube. And you have probably seen it. It was Vice or something. And the guy said that meat from ass cheek is very tough to eat. So he doesn't like it. And I remember that forever now in my brain. So, anyway. Okay, set. That was kind of funny, honestly. It was kind of funny if you think about it, right? Hello, my friend. Servitude OW. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know what's funny about streams? I've been streaming for like 3 hours now, right? And I kind of feel like, oh, you know, I have all this memory of the stream. And that when someone comes, you know, fresh into a stream, I almost have this feeling like, oh, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, this is, stream is every moment, you know. So when a person comes into a stream, they don't know what happened before. So they just will watch this moment as the only moment that there is. Oh, I can actually get this. That's very good. So it kind of a little bit rubs off on me to kind of see every moment for what it is, you know. I joined and heard about the ass cheek meat. Well, yeah, you know, I should be very, very careful of what I say, or should I? I want to be like Pokrick when I grow up. Question: If there are 2 fan arts, one of them Yorick, another one the wife, which one would you like the most? Well, it depends on how it looks, doesn't it? Come on, Seth, careful. Oh, he's waiting. What you doing, boy? My boy, you even missed it. So, does he have? I don't think he has. Yeah, there it is. My friends, I didn't know that the only game, the one of the, you know, I just didn't know that the game I win is gonna be against Set, you know. Not an ass man, I guess. Yeah. Okay, what is this? What is this? What you doing, boy? Why you doing this, Set? That was bugged. Yeah, Set's struggling, man. This. He has cast 2 ults and he has died both times midair. If that's not funny, you need funny lessons, okay? You need funny lessons, honestly. Do they have 100% AD? This is a perfect game to go Sunfire Aegis. This guy's struggling too. Yeah. This guy's struggling too. Okay. Hello, Jamie. Hello, my friend. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, he might get his revenge finally. What you doing, boy? Set a little tilted, you know. Little tilt. Don't do this, Hecarim. You're gonna die. You're not gonna win this. There's no way, my boy. Okay, mana diff. Actual mana diff. Yeah, I was about to say, give those slaps. Give those slaps. I need those sound effects. Okay. Careful with this, though. Careful with this, though. Oh, that was perfect. That slap synchronized with the way Hecarim died. Okay. Okay, this might be the end of me, though. Or will it? Okay. That's kind of interesting. Let's get this guy. Just to be a little bit more annoying. Set is full tilt poker, yeah. My brother used to play full tilt poker. But that's about it. That's about it. Okay. Shiloba. All of my team is winning, so I feel like we can just, you know, go in and smash. Set would be sat and sit. I didn't know since 2 classes ago that John, Juan, and Juan are same name, different languages. Oh, if you think about it, it does make sense. Yvonne? Right? Okay. I think set would be sat and sit. It doesn't work, I think. Oh, he's punching the tower. Sorry, set too much armor. Can't do nothing about it. I have to catch him though. He can't just escape this. What can he do against these 2 items? Can he do anything about that? Okay. Boss, I stomp silver and gold. Jesus is enhancing your skills these days. He comes through those, you know, he is risen in your mind at least, right? He is risen. Do you know how Yorick sound like in Turkish version? If you don't, need to check that. Is there a Turkish version for Yorick? What? Oh, careful with this, though. Oh, okay, I lived too close here. Pff, way too close to the sun. Yeah, way too close to the sun. Today, I drove into the forest, by the way, with the wife. And we went to see some cows. If you can believe it, we were trying to find some wild cows. And you know, wild cows look pretty beautiful, at least in the pictures. And they, unfortunately, we were just walking and walking for like 10 kilometers, which is like 6 miles or something. No, 5 miles. No, 4.5 miles, something like that. And yeah, the fluff ones, the wild ones. And they were supposed to be there. That was the place for them to be. And unfortunately, you know, this story doesn't have any ending and anything really. Just my experience. And I didn't see any cows, wild cows. The only thing I saw, unfortunately, was a field of, you know what cows, you know how a field looks like when cows were there. So, you know, the expedition was unsuccessful. Very unsuccessful. I was really looking forward to seeing some cows today, and I remember Erin said that when she sees cows, she becomes very sleepy. From the office, she said that, but the opposite happened to me. I became sleepy because I didn't see the cows. So that was my today. Okay. Okie dokie. He jump? Okay. Field of shit. Exactly. Yep. And carrots, because people feed them carrots. I guess they're not wild because it's a place where people go to see them and feed them, so they are semi-wild, you know? They are not farmed cows, but they are kind of like a herd that walks around. And you might find this boring, but I'm excited to see animals. And I'm not really a very hippie type, but I just simply like animals. I just like seeing them. So I wanted to see them, but all I saw was two cats in a field of poop, unfortunately. The cats fortunately offset the the bad feelings of the poop. So yeah. One of the cats hissed at me, unfortunately. But that was my today, you know. That's what I can't give you anything more interesting, you know. If you're thinking, "Hey, man, this is boring," but that's what happened to me today. That's what happened. Okay. Calm down. Come on, Set. I was actually a little bit mad that I didn't see the cows. A little bit mad. But not too much to be like crazy mad. Okay. Do we need a taxi out of here? You know, let me make the taxi just real quick. Ezreal uses the taxi for some reason. Don't really know why. Okay. Used Ignite. Okay. And guys, we are losing these team fights. And I don't know why, really. Honestly. Unlucky, yeah. Unlucky. It is always interesting to interact with other life forms. Yeah, there is something about it. I really like... that's a good way of putting it, yeah. Maybe not even interacting, just saying hi, you know? Just when you look at something and you think it's like you wave at them. You know how animals sometimes look at you and you feel like, hey, you know, there's no communication there. You're just looking at each other. And that is in and of itself just a kind of an interesting thing, you know. We're just looking at each other. That's it. There's no agenda. There's nothing really. I think we win this. Oh no, we don't. How do I get caught with 5 people all the time? Damn. Perfect song again. Again, perfect song. What is going on? Where are you from, dude? I'm from Latvia. Latvia. Latvia something. Sorry, can't spell. Latvian. Latvian diff. Belvet, what you doing? Okay. I wonder what cows think about the free market. They are in a free market. All of nature is in free market. All of nature is in free market. I think it's interact because a lot of them knows you're coming there before. Yeah. You're probably right. But yeah, sometimes sometimes animals just look at you and think, hey, what are you thinking? And he might be thinking, I'm not thinking anything. I'm just looking at you. You know, it's interesting to see that, hey, you move, I move. You know, I do this, you do that. It's just interesting in its own, right? Yeah. Give me the training, boss. I'm hopeless. Training on what? Training on what? What do you need training on? Is Latvia more coast-like, mountain-like, or jungle-like? It's forest and sea. Mostly forest and meadows. Like 40% forest. 30% meadows. Oh, I really need to be careful with all this because... No, this time it's not gonna happen. Or is it though? The ghouls burn. Very good, very good. Very good. Hello, Zibit. Welcome. How's it going in Ukraine, my friend? I was thinking of going to a game dev conference in Ukraine. But the wife said, hey man, there's war. Okay? Stop it. Gotta be very careful here. Because they are probably doing it again. Look at how much damage the ghouls do with Leandries to that guy. It's actually kind of perfect. Okay. Okay. Almost escaped. Almost escaped. Okay. I think the most interesting animal to interact is jumping spiders, where they are going to peep you upside down, look at them after seconds. I don't know, man. You're crazy. You're crazy. Spiders... I don't like spiders. I'm not too afraid of them, but come on, spider... You know, you look like a monster. A literal monster, man. If you were to make him bigger, that's like a horror show. That's it. Give me the training, please, about one thing. I know that saying to a girl... Okay. I know that saying to a girl that she's a cow is bad, but what about to an Indian girl? Okay, interesting. I thought there's gonna be something racist, but then I read it and I thought, okay, it's probably not racist though. It's an idea. I would say it's still bad. It's still bad because cows are big, and girls don't want to be big. So yeah, I think if you say to her, hey, you are like divine like a cow, maybe then, but also maybe, okay, maybe, just a big maybe. Can I say maybe one more time? They sure do, but monsters can be beautiful too. You know what that reminds me of? When I was younger, I was very fascinated by lucid dreaming. And I tried lucid dreaming, right? I did all the things, you know, have a dream journal, have the dream object. I really hope someone knows what that is, so I'm not the only crazy guy here. That's actually not that crazy. It's a normal thing. So I had everything. So I started getting these lucid dreams, and I remember someone saying that, hey, if you have a nightmare and you want to get out of it. Actually, I don't remember if anybody suggested that, but what I did was there was a big monster. There was a black, some kind of crystal-like, you know, some kind of a, I don't know, a monster. I was really scared. And someone, or I just had the inspiration to just think, okay, I'll just look at it very carefully and not even think of it as a scary thing. Okay. As a scary thing. And that actually worked, you know, because if you know dreams, it is very hard not to be scared when you're already scared. And that really worked. Just pay attention to the thing, you know. You get kind of less scared because your mind is a little bit focused on the it doesn't have time to be scared in a sense. So I can see how when you appreciate the spider's visual, you know, how it looks, you can get maybe less scared. But 'cause spiders are kind of burned into our brains as a scary thing. Can you say you have a cow eyes? I find it very tough to believe that you can. Very, very tough. Hello, Deus Vult Bellator. Happy Easter to you too. Happy Easter to you too. Mind focuses on the emotions rather than the logic while dreaming. But that's the thing about lucid dreaming, because when you become aware that you're dreaming, you can kind of turn on logic, you know? Why Yorick tank? It is what it is, you know, the winds are blowing. The winds of Tankrick are blowing. The winds of Tankrick are blowing. Do you worry about adaptive force in your build? No. I don't even have it, do I? I don't think I even have it. Is he alone? He doesn't win, right? Yeah, he definitely doesn't win. Oh. Yes. I don't know what's going on here. They have a TP. Tom Kench is dead. Very good. Set actually left the fight and TP'd back into it, which is kind of insane, isn't it? It is. I think I can do it one more time. Set losing health. Yorick getting health back. I think he's gonna get nibbled by those ghouls. That Lux missing everything, and unfortunate. Unfortunate. Ta-da! Turkish. I didn't know that there's a Yorick in Turkish language. Why delay boots? I don't know. I'm just buying random stuff for the past weeks. I'm still deciding what is the best thing. I feel like Hydra is the best thing, but maybe if you get items like this, they can be good too. Are they gonna come after me? I don't think. Oh, they actually will. I suddenly. Oh. Yeah, I don't like that they are both here. Yeah. Yeah. I missed a lot of what you said because of the ad. I watched it from YouTube again. Oh, there are ads that make you miss something? That sucks. Hello, Diego. I hope you have a nice day too. I hope you have a nice day too. Oh, actually, if we win this fight, I think we can finish the game. I think we have time, right? What do you think, chat? I think Leandri is very good on Tankrick. I think in general it's a very good item too. Everything is expensive. Do you mean in Turkey? Are turkeys expensive in Turkey? How do you feel about Turkey being the same word as Turkey? I think it's very funny. I don't know. There's not much to it. I just think it's very funny. Can we get this set? Maybe. It's a little bit too eager. I don't think it's worth. Maybe if they both come here with me, then they will get the middle tower. Oh no. Please get the middle. Okay. Okay. Fish. Fish dead. Have a nice evening, my friend. Have a nice evening. Have a nice evening. If you stay until the end of this match, I'm going to show you something you might be interested in. Maybe you can give me your opinion on it. It's going to be a website. It's going to be simple enough. There's not going to be much to understand. Ba-da-ba-ba. Okay, I can do that. Okay. I'm really curious about your opinion on both on the execution and on the, idea. It will help if you saw the last Zach iteration, Zach website iteration. But it's going to be fine if you didn't. It's going to be fine if you didn't. Oh no, I'm going to die. Wow, that was a champion wall, wasn't it? The turkey thing is all about ego. Is it? Is it really about ego or something? Oh, no, no, no. I can't fight this guy if he's not alone. But he is alone, right? Yes, he is. I can fight Seth alone this time. I don't know how it happens. It's because of the burn. Look at the burn. Look at how much he loses health. Leandri's against that guy is very good. He has to go help his Nexus, doesn't he? I think he does. Okay. What's going on with that? With that LeBlanc? What you doing, boy? Boy, careful, Seth. Okay. LeBlanc should help me with this, right? She really should. Okay. Okay, careful. Careful. Oh no. He did steal it or something? What happened there? What happened there? Okay. Crab survived. Yeah, the ghouls very, very often don't finish the crab. That's a very unlucky thing about the crab. What's going on with the horse there? I thought we were going to win this game. Da 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 da. And this is the last match I play on this Easter day, my friends. I'm sorry to say, but it's over. But it's fine. It was a good stream. It was a good stream. Unfortunately, I think I lost some LP. So it is what it is. But, you know, I wasn't really that focused. Should have been much more focused. We'll see. We'll see about this match. We'll see about this match. Let me do some Yorick pushing. Do some Yorick pushing there. Let me just do the classic one. The classic one. Okay. Very, very careful. So Set is gonna recall. Please don't die. And we're good. If they don't die, we're good. Okay. Oh, that's an interesting... Unfortunately, our team just does nothing. Well, I don't know what to say about that. Oh. Okay. We don't really want to fight this, I think. But, you know, it is what it is. The real LP was the friends, right? What's the saying? Yeah, this is not good. This is not good. It is what it is. Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. What do you think about JRPGs? What is that? GG easy. GG easy. Okay. So this was the last game, but let me just show you the thing. Let me just show you the thing real quick. Let me just show you the... real quick. Okay, so this is the little Zack game. I simplified it greatly, and the idea is that you just click on drag on it, and it just jumps. That's it. Right now, there are some problems, okay, with the jumping, but it's starting to look like a blob. So I'm kind of curious. What do you think about this? And of course there are sounds. Okay, where is the... Here we have it. Studio mode. Yeah, there it is. So, you know, as you can see, this little pyramid doesn't, you know, if I keep refreshing, you know, it should be, you know, there's going to be the, it's like an Angry Birds, right? And just right now it doesn't work. But the Zack itself, it's pretty, you know, Zack-like, isn't it? Someone said that it should be a flubber, and I said no, that doesn't make any sense, but now it turned out that it's like the flubber from the movie, right? If I disappear, that means Little Ghoul woke up and I had to go. I like the come feels like something I would play in phone a lot. Well, it's obviously not meant to be played a lot. It's more like a Zack thing, right? It's more like a Zack thing. GG, I was set. Well, kinda GG. I don't know why we lost. Because the game was in the bag. I don't know what happened, honestly. It looks like the cubes are killing themselves. Yeah. It's true. It's true. They are. They are. The one with the scoreboard is still your masterpiece. Which one? Which one do you mean? Oh, the no surrender? Yeah, that's I think that's the best one too. It's just a very funny one. Call me old school, my pigeon game is my favorite. Even played it with my boss at the work. That's a good concept. Cho'Gath Pac-Man. This is first. Cho'Gath Pac-Man is still feels like it's not gonna, it just feels too boring. I don't know. This one I like. I really like that it's a soft body blob. I was experimenting with a lot of different, radiuses and stuff, but this is visual only. These particles are just visual representation of what they are, and you could kind of get bigger as you reach your score. And obviously you can have more points and stuff, but it kind of messes with the. I figured that it's the best is like 6 of these, but yeah. I'm really happy about the blob physics, but I kind of have to tune it so it doesn't have these jagged things, and it's very, very. It's very, very hyper dependent on how much just on these random settings and stuff. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching the stream. A lot of losses. Itty Woodity, LP dead. It's fine. If he grows as he consumes cube, it would be nice if he missed the cubes. Maybe he lost. No. The way it's meant is that currently, ignore the cubes. It's gonna be like Angry Birds type cages here, and inside those cages are gonna be champions that are very, for example, Teemo and Yumi, and because the first iteration is this one, right? This was the first iteration of it, and I thought, okay, I kind of hate the physics of this, but I do like these faces, and I do like that that these the way this cage works. So I'm gonna combine the soft blob with the right side of this, the level side of this, like the Yumi and can you even see that, by the way? Oh, you couldn't see it, or could you? Oh, you could. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. This kind of reminds me of the game on Itch, that one where you unswallowed stuff and got bigger. Maybe he jumps on tower. In any case, thanks for watching this. And I will see you next time. This is almost perfectly 4 hours. Every time I see a Zakin, he dives me in a tower for the whole game. Huh. A tower, adding a tower, I'll think about it. If you have time, can you check the Turkish version? I'll check it out. I'll check it out this evening. So yeah, again, thanks for watching this, and I'll see you next time, my friends. I'll see you next time.